today and that you're going to take the time. Yes, thanks for recording that. For members on this, we are recording this just so that you can be able to know that we are recording this. Thank you so much. The conversation will take about an hour, give or take, and then we shall open up for Q&A. Thank you, and over to you, Samuel.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, the coordinator and chairperson for Academy for Women Entrepreneurs program in Uganda. Before I begin, I'd like to say a big thanks, first of all, to the State Department, precisely the U.S. State Department and the U.S. Mission in Uganda. Thank you for financing our project, supporting what we do across West Africa, supporting what we do across East Africa and other regions in Africa. I'd also like to say a big thanks to Academy for Women Entrepreneurs in Uganda. Thank you so much for putting this together and gathering all of these amazing women. I see the great things you're doing in Uganda, and I am so proud to identify with this platform. I'd also like to say a big thanks to ACE Health Foundation in Washington, D.C. Thank you very much, the chairperson, Pooja, for deeming me worthy of sharing my expertise, my insights and knowledge about business with these amazing women who are on this call. My name is Wofai Samuel, and like the very beautiful coordinator introduced me, I'm the acting managing director of the Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce. So I have been in the communications, public relations, government relations, and advocacy sector for more than 10 years. I've worked, intersecting between governments, between businesses, and between the private sector. I'll try as much as possible to slow down with my tone. And then as the acting managing director of the Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce, I've been in this capacity for 1 year. I'll just say by default, when you hear Chamber of Commerce, it gives me the authority, it gives me the right, it gives me the privilege to a reasonable extent to speak to businesses, to talk about businesses. And so today, I do know that I'm speaking with a lot of people who are entrepreneurs on this program. And so the basics is business fundamentals. What are business fundamentals? What is the basis for starting your business? If you start a business, how do you manage this business? If you're able to manage the business, how do you sustain the business? So I'd like this to be very interactive from this onset. Now, few housekeeping rules. If you're not called to speak, kindly ensure that your microphones are turned off. That's the audio button. Please keep it on mute. If you'd like to turn on your videos, that's absolutely fine. If you want to leave your videos off, that's also fine. But a quick question, please signify with a raise or a wave of hand using your icon. How many persons here are entrepreneurs? I like to take data in any of my sessions. Whenever I'm involved in a session, I'm always very keen on keeping data. So I'd like to know how many persons here have a business, run a business, are involved in a business or manage a business. If you know you have anything to do with business, please let me see you indicate by raising your hand. Wave of hand, please. Show of hand. Okay. If you have a business, you run a business, you work with somebody who has a business, you're indirectly involved in a business, or you intend to start a business. Raise of hands. I'm taking data. I'm taking the numbers, please. Okay, thank you very much. So we can put down our hands. Thank you very much. So in the last 2 minutes, there are about 35 people on this call, and 30 people raised up their hands saying they either have a business, they run a business, they're looking forward to starting a business, or they work with somebody who manages a business. Now, business is what drives the economy anywhere in the world. So you have, whether it's oil and gas, whether it's manufacturing, whether you're in the FMCG, that's fast consuming moving products, speaking about powdered milk, speaking about canned juices, speaking about canned products, and so on and so forth. In whatever sector you are, whether it's in the services, whether it's in the trade, it's one form of business or another. Now, for all of us who are on this call, most of us are directly linked with AWE, that's the Academy for Women Entrepreneur. Most of us have been sponsored by the US State Department. Most of us, our projects have been financed by them, and all of these projects are tailored towards businesses. So for people who are intending to start businesses, how do you start? For those who are already running businesses, how are you managing your businesses? And for those who are already managing their businesses, how do you sustain your business? Please permit me to start sharing my slide. Okay, so we begin with the first slide. The first slide says business fundamentals as presented by Ms. Wofai Samuel, is Global Leader of Excellence and Acting DG of the Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce. And move on to the second slide. So the second slide says understanding the core principles of starting, managing, and sustaining a business. So I call this the essence of business.
Do you want to put that in presentation mode?
Okay, it's already on presentation mode. You can't see my screen.
Oh. No, we can, but it's in
Okay. I get what you mean. Just give me a moment. I get what you mean.
All right.
Okay, I'm trying to turn this to presentation mode, but it doesn't seem working. So I don't know if I should just continue.
Yeah, I think
May
just
I continue? Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much. Okay, so the second slide says understanding the core principles of starting, managing, and sustaining a business. So like I mentioned, I refer to this as the SMS of business. So when you say SMS, anybody who lives in Africa, Nigeria, West Africa, Uganda, you easily understand it's like a text message. So that's like an SMS, starting, managing, and sustaining your business. Now, when you talk about the learning outcomes, what are we seeking to achieve with this program today? At the end of this program, there'll be question and answers. I do expect that everyone who has been on this call will be able to understand what business fundamentals are. So if you're on this call, I do believe that you should be able to understand what business fundamentals are, meaning what are the basis for any business. If you're also on this call, I believe that at the end of this call, you should be able to understand what the strategic imperative of market analysis, business ethics, and value proposition is. I'll break all of this down in the course of this conversation. So you have market analysis. Market analysis is more like doing a survey of the kind of business you intend to go into. That's what is called market analysis. Then you talk about business ethics. Business ethics is when you talk about, let's say, morality. What are the advantages and disadvantages of the things you do, good and bad? What are the good things that society sees and smiles at? What are the bad things that society sees and frowns at? That is also applicable to business. So in terms of business, what would you do in business that would make your customers happy? And your customers would think, okay, she's well-behaved, she's organized, she's ethical, she's morally correct, she's fair, she's just. What would you do to make your customers see you in that light? So those are what is called business ethics. And then value proposition. Value proposition is quite simple. You're giving somebody something and you're taking their money. What is it you're giving them? What you're giving them, is it impactful? Is it commensurate to the monies you're taking from them? That's value proposition. As long as you're creating value to people, they will keep coming back. So at the end of this conversation, I do expect that everyone on this call, at least 90% of the people on this call, would understand what market analysis is. That's doing a survey of the market they're going into or the markets they are currently engaged in. They would understand what business ethics are. These are the norms and possible rules and regulations guiding business. And then value proposition, what you're giving people in return. And then also, I'm expecting that at the end of this call, you'll be able to create winning strategies for your business. So for instance, I'm the acting DG of the Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce. What we do is about trade, business, commerce, and investment. assessment. How am I able to attract customers to my organization? How am I able to attract trade to my organization? How am I able to attract organizations in the US to work with my organization? So I'll be able to share some of these winning strategies that you can employ for your business, whether it's small scale business or it's a large business. And then finally, when we're done with this call, I should be able to provide some case studies. I would like to hear some case studies from some of our participants who are on the call, and I'd like to also hear your success stories. That's on page 3, and that outlines the learning outcomes I'm expecting and looking forward to having at the end of this conversation. We move over to the next slide, which is slide 4. So for slide 4, we talk about market analysis. So if you look at your screen, what is market analysis? Like I mentioned earlier, I said it's more like a survey of the market, more like a survey of what is obtainable in the market. What is the market giving you? What market are you going into? So I did say that market analysis is a detailed assessment of your business target market and the specific competitive landscape within a specific industry. It's the key to determining your SWOT. A lot of us who are in the business ecosystem, it doesn't matter what sector we're involved in, we're very familiar with SWOT. That's your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. I would break this down to the barest minimum. I'll be as basic as possible. I don't want to come here speaking big grammar. And at the end of the day, I'm repeating what every other person knows or what every other person is saying. So market analysis is a detailed assessment of your business target audience and the competitive landscape within a specific industry. So when you talk about detailed assessment of your business target market, what kind of business are you intending to go into? Is it a business of selling fabrics? Is it a business of, let's say, a restaurant where you sell food? Is it a business where you're selling cement? Is it a business where you're selling services, more like consultancy services, to name a few of them? Is it a business where you're selling human hair? Is it a business where you're selling laptops? So let's assume it's a business where you're selling human hair. Who are your target audience? Are your target audience women in Nigeria or women in Uganda, women in the US, women in the UK? Who are your target audience? Which persons are you looking to sell to? Whether it's online, whether it's physical. Now, if you know your target audience, what are the age ranges of the people you intend to sell to? What are their age ranges? What are the demographics of these people? Are you targeting women? I wouldn't say men because I said, my case study is hair. Are you targeting women between the ages of 40 and 50? Or you're targeting women between the ages of 20 to 50, or you're targeting women between the ages of 30 to 40. What kind of human hair are you selling to these people? Is it expensive original human hair that costs about $1,000, $900, $800, or you're selling synthetic hair that costs about $50 to $70 to $100? So you need to understand who your demographics are, meaning what are the age ranges of the people you want to sell to? You need to understand who are the people you want to sell to. Is it the high income earning people, middle income earning people, or people who are below poverty line? You need to be able to decipher which of these categories of persons you're selling into, and then you know that you're on the right track. Let me give you a simple case study. So there's somebody called Dangote in Nigeria, right? Dangote happens to be one of the biggest businessmen, if not, I'll say the biggest businessman in Nigeria. And of course, we know he's the richest man in Africa. Now he runs Dangote conglomerates that houses Dangote cement, houses Dangote salt, houses Dangote sugar. Now, the things that Dangote sells appeals to every genre of society, whether you're middle class, whether you're low income earning below poverty line, whether you're rich, you use salt, you use cooking salt, you use sugar, you use fertilizer as a farmer, like farmers in Africa, everywhere in Africa, you use fertilizer to enhance growth for your crops. And then for every household in Africa, you use sugar. Every household uses salt. So it's not like the product he's selling is for people who are on, the top of the echelon. It's for people who are like middle class, people who are like low class. Let's just say everybody buys. Now, the products are not expensive. So you're buying Dangote salt for like 50 cents, you're buying Dangote salt for like $1, but you have 1 million households buying this salt for $1. You have 1 million households buying this salt for 50 cents. So by the time you calculate 50 cents or $1 by 1 million households, you can now put together how much income he makes or how much income you're making. But if you're targeting, let's say, a specific audience, let's say people at the upper echelon, and then you're selling a particular salt for like $100, whereas he's selling his for $1. Not everybody can afford $100. So you need to study this market to understand who are my target audience, who are the people I want to sell to. Do I want to sell to the people who can only afford $100? Or I want to sell to the people who can afford 50 cents and $1, and then I sell to as many people as possible. So that's what it means when you come to market analysis. I'm going to run through this over again. So market analysis is like a survey. For whatever it is you want to sell, take the time to ask questions. Ask questions. Who are your competitors? I'm going to come to SWOT. I haven't discussed SWOT yet. Who are your competitors? Who are selling the same kind of thing you're selling? How successful are the people selling the things you're selling? What differentiates your products from what they are selling? What are you coming to the market with that is a little bit different? Are you going to reduce your price slightly? Are you going to increase your price slightly? Who are the target audience? Meaning, who are the demographics? Is your product for women or for men? Is your product for young or for older people? Is your product for Generation Z or Generation X or people who are 50 and above? You need to be able to decipher who your demographics are. Now, speaking to your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats, I did mention initially that a lot of people are very, very familiar with SWOT, SWOT. So people just talk about SWOT, 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 but they don't take their time to break it down for a layman to understand. It took me, quite a while to understand what SWOT analysis was until when I started working in the business field, that's with the Chamber of Commerce. So when you talk about SWOT, you're talking about your strengths, you're talking about your weakness, you're talking about your opportunities, and you're talking about your threats. So what is your strength? Strength is something that stands you out. Strength is something that puts you at an edge over anyone else you're dealing with. So for instance, you have a particular business and you have patronage from the CEO, the chairperson of AWE in Uganda. AWE, Academy for Women Entrepreneurs, is a program that is highly commendable, a program that is highly outstanding, a program that the world identifies with. So if in Uganda you're saying AWE patronizes me, I'm a consultant for AWE, or AWE's president buys my products, AWE coordinator buys my products, that's one of your strengths. Because a brand that is really strong, a brand that is trustworthy and international identifies with what you sell. That's one of your many strengths. What could also be your strength? Your strength could be that a lot of people are selling the same fabric that you're selling, but the finishing for the fabrics that you sell is quite different from what they sell. Meaning, at the end of the day, the stitches, the turns on the clothing these people are selling might just be done anyhow. But when people buy yours, your fabric is more durable. The quality of the fabric is more durable. The stitches and the, end-to-end sewing at the end of the day is more durable and more eye candy than what they sell. That could be a strength. That could be a strength for you. What could be a strength? A strength could be that you have a patronage from a lot of young entrepreneurs. A lot of young entrepreneurs around your city, around your vicinity, around your locality, look up to you to buy these products from you. It could be a strength. Whereas the other people, majority of the people who patronize them could be students. Majority of the people who patronize them could be workers. You know that the workforce in Africa, we're looking at young people. So at the end of the day, the more patronage you have from young people, the better standing you are, because the world identifies with Africa in terms of its human capital development, in terms of its young people. So if you have a patronage from a demographics that is predominantly young, it stands you out. That could also be one of your strengths. I'm just giving you like case studies. Strengths are different in different ways. Now you ask yourself, what are you doing well in your business? What is that thing you're doing that is going on well in your business? Are you making profit? Are you making sales? Do you have more customers than other people have? Your business environment and your business ethics. Do people admire how you run your business more than the others? All of these things, anything that stands you out from your competitor is a strength. Whatsoever it is that puts you ahead of your competitor, that is a strength. So I'm breaking this down in very layman terms. Anything that stands you out is your strength. What is unique about your product? What do you have that others do not have? What do people see and admire when it comes to what you do, when it comes to what you're selling, when it comes to your business? That is your strength. Okay, moving to SW, that's W means weakness. So when people hear about weaknesses, it's not a bad thing to have a weakness. Every human being has a weakness. I mean, that makes us humans. So when you talk about weakness, what is weakness? When you say strength, you understand what strength is. What is weakness? Now, weakness is internal. Nobody sees your weakness. Like you can't see it, but people can feel it. People can feel it when you deliver service. You don't see people's strengths like, oh, physical muscle. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about capacity when you talk about strengths. And then when you talk about weakness, we're talking about lack of capacity. Now, weaknesses are not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to have a weakness, but it's okay to have a weakness and work on how you can better your weakness. So in terms of weakness, what am I not doing right? The last time I supplied a service to a client, the clients complained about this and then passed on the information to other people. And somehow they refused to patronize me because of what they heard about my products. If you go on Google, you will see that for any products you buy, majority of them have what they call ratings. So you have people giving this product ratings, you have them giving them recommendations, you have them putting some of these products down. So what is the recommendation of your product? Let's assume the recommendation is not so good. People feel like, oh, he's just a starter, so he's not very good at what he does. I'm scared, I don't want to patronize him. Maybe he might run away with my money. I'm scared, I don't want to patronize him. Maybe his products are not very durable. Sometimes I have that fear too. Somebody might have a very good product, but because you see that the person is just starting out, or you see that the person does not have enough marketing, or doesn't have big clientele, like the big names supporting them, you don't want to buy their products. That could be a weakness. Now you ask yourself, what is my weakness and how can I possibly work on this? Meaning, in what areas am I underperforming? Am I underperforming in terms of marketing? If you Google my business, there's something called Google Your Business. If you go on Google and you type a business, you're supposed to be able to see the address of that business. You're supposed to be able to see a location. There should be something about that business because we're in the digital age. We're in the age where AI is taking over. We're in the age where everybody is on Google. You say anything to anybody, the person wants to Google to want to check you out. So if your business is not on Google, for instance, it doesn't mean the business will not thrive, but it just means you could be limited in some areas. For people who are tech savvy, they want to see your business on Google. They want to see your business address. They want to see what you do. They want to see how many followers you have on Instagram. Although I don't even have all those huge numbers of following on Instagram, but I do have an Instagram presence, right? So what am I saying in essence? When you talk about your weakness could be you're not marketing your business enough. Your business is actually bigger than your marketing strategy. You're not putting your business out there enough. That could be a weakness. What could also be a weakness? Your weakness could be you have appointments with people to deliver a certain product at a certain time, and you're arriving late. You're always fond of arriving late, probably because you don't have a car to take you there. So you're jumping from one bus to another, one public transportation system to another. It's only a question of time before they feel like, oh, whenever we ask him to deliver something, he's never on time. I've experienced that a few times. And then the vendor ends up saying, oh, there was traffic. Oh, I couldn't meet up with this. Oh, I woke up early. Oh, my child was sick. All of those are excuses. But at the end of the day, it presents you as being weak in front of the clients you're selling to. So at the end of the day, you ask yourself, what is my weakness? What am I not doing well in my business? Why are people not patronizing me enough? What are the complaints? Feedback mechanisms. You should be able to get feedback mechanisms from people. Accept criticisms, especially when it's positive. It's not easy. It's never easy to take criticism. But at the end of the day, if criticism is positive, by all means, accept it. So you should also ask yourself, how do I rank in terms of competitors? There's something I do on LinkedIn, right? For my organization. So I put my organization side by side other bigger organizations. Every week I am analyzing to see what they are doing differently. I'm always keeping in touch with my competitors. So I'm like an acting DG of a chamber, Nigerian American chamber. 24 hours, I'm following other chambers in the US to see what they are doing and what I am not doing. How can I be like them? How can I be different from them? How can they observe and notice me? I don't have an active business, right? But I run an organization that runs businesses for multinationals in Nigeria and in the US. So you who has a business, you're not running an organization. Your question should now be, I'm selling services for cleaning. And there's so many other cleaning companies. What are they doing that is making them get more clients? Is it that they know more people than I am, that I know? Then you should start networking. You come to a forum like this, you come to an event like this, you should talk to people, introduce yourselves. I heard when the coordinator was asking us to introduce ourselves, people take that very lightly. I was just smiling. While some people were taking it for granted, some people were feeling very hesitant and reluctant to speak. I'm from Nigeria, and we can be very vocal. I said to myself, some of these African countries, Uganda and the rest of them, they can be really reserved, but you need to understand that there's power in speaking. When you don't speak, a closed mouth never gets fed. When you talk, people get to hear you. Whether or not you're talking things that make sense or you're saying things that don't make sense, you've made your voice heard. So in any gathering, when there's an opportunity to speak, always make your voice heard. Walk up to people, introduce yourself. My name is this, I'm from Uganda, and this is what I do. I'm into cleaning services. Here's my card. I'd like you to patronize me. If you introduce yourself to 10 people at that gathering, all 10 of them might not listen to you. They might be like, oh, we are not interested. Keep at it. The next event you're going for, the next Zoom meeting you're having, you introduce yourself. Don't just stop at saying, oh, my name is, let me look at somebody's name. Monica Okumi. No, Monica Okumi is a co-host. So Atim Robina. So you're in this forum and you're introducing yourself. My name is Atim Robina. I'm from Uganda. That's not good enough. My name is Atim Robina. I'm from Uganda. I'm a student. Or my name is Atim Robina. I'm from Uganda. I facilitate XYZ, or I run this business. So my name is Atim. I'm from Uganda. I run this business. This is what I do. I'd like you to patronize me. I was at an event recently, and it was time for us to introduce ourselves. And everybody stood up and they were talking about their names. And I said, my name is Wofai Samuel. I'm the Acting Director General of the Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce. For any subject matter relating Nigeria and US, please come to me. Everybody started laughing. But I've sold my products. If my competitors were there, I have put myself a step ahead of them. I'm at an edge over them. So you need to understand, what are your competitors doing differently? If they have a larger network, meaning they have more people patronizing them, you can start small. You can start small, publicizing what you do, showcasing what you do, talking to people about what you do. Don't ever stop talking to people about what you do. That's the only way, and one of the fastest way you can get new clients. Now, speaking to weaknesses, I've given you a breakdown on what weaknesses are. We now move on to opportunities and threats. So when people talk about opportunities, again, it's so opaque. It's shrouded in secrecy. People don't really understand what opportunities mean in business. Now, when you talk about opportunities in business, what opportunities exist within the field of what you're doing? Meaning, you're currently doing XYZ business and you're selling to women in Uganda. Is there a way you can expand to other Eastern African countries? So you have Rwanda, you have Uganda, you have Kenya. I've been to Kenya, I've been to Rwanda, I've been to Uganda, right? Is there a way you can expand from Uganda to Rwanda? Is there a way you can expand even within Uganda? Like I always say to people, every country is a big market. Nigeria alone is a big market on its own. Uganda has more than 5 million people. It's a big market. So you're selling in a particular region in Uganda. Let's say you're selling in Kampala. Kampala is one of the cities in Uganda, if not the capital of Uganda, right? How can you extend to other villages in Uganda? If you extend to other villages in Uganda and you're making an income of $10 extra, that's money. Whether or not you like it, you're $10 richer. So how can you expand to other places in Uganda? Do you need to employ a staff? Do you need to get a volunteer? When I talk about people expanding the businesses, they say, oh, my business is too small, I'm not ready to expand. You should never say that. You should never, ever say that. So when you talk to people about expanding their businesses, they tell you, oh, I can't pay, I can't afford staff. They are volunteers. They are people that help you run your business and you put them on commission. Okay, I'm sorry about that. The network interjected for a little bit. So as I was saying, when you're talking about expanding your business, you should never feel like you're not at that stage where you need to expand. Never. You should never say you don't have enough resources to expand, because like I told you, whether or not you like it, the reality is we're in the digital world. Everything is online. Every single thing. COVID came for 3 years, 2 years. Okay, I sincerely apologize. I'm sorry. My internet went off for a bit, so I just brought it closer to myself. I'm sure this won't happen again. I apologize for the interjections. These are some of the issues we have in Africa. Sorry. Okay, so I'm back now, and I'm sure there will be no interjections again. It's closer to me now. So like I was saying, right. I think I still have about, I started at exactly 1:15, so I still have 25 more minutes. So as I was saying, you should never ever say you don't have the facilities or the resources and the capacities to expand your business. If your business is thriving in a particular remote village or wherever it is, you can always expand. You can get people in other regions to volunteer to sell your products and services. You can do that online as much as you can. You can do that online. There's so many online stores where people sell their products. And I know that people are making money from all of these online services. I know how many businesses I have personally patronized in other parts of the world through online services. So recently in Ghana, I bought something from someone and I wanted to transfer cash to the person. Sometimes I can be very old school and archaic, right? So the person said to me, you can do the transfer through Momo. I was wondering, I was like, what is Momo? And then I went online to research about Momo. I asked somebody who lives in Ghana, like, what's Momo? And the person explained to me that, okay, Momo is an app you use. I tried it and it worked. So I was able to patronize a person from Nigeria. The person got $15. So you're $15 richer. What's my point and what's the point I'm trying to drive at in essence? When it comes to opportunities, never limit yourself. How can your business possibly expand? And then in terms of opportunities, your network is very, very important. So you have the acting DJ on this call. Interface with her. How can you possibly help me market what I do to your database? Is there somebody in Nigeria who needs my services? Do you know anybody in Rwanda who needs your services? Because at the end of the day, if one person patronizes you in Rwanda and your service is good, if any other person has something they were supposed to do in Uganda, they can easily refer you to say, okay, this person does very nice cleaning. You can hire their services to clean your hotel room. You can hire their services to clean your house or whatever it is. So these are some of the opportunities you should be looking at in terms of businesses. Never limit yourself. Always expand. Look out for network of new contacts. Speak as much as you can to people who can volunteer to sell your services and products, and then you can put them on commission if you cannot afford the salary. Moving forward, still speaking about opportunities. You should also ask yourself, what are my goals? So again, like I said, I don't have a specific business per se that I run, but I run an organization that facilitates chains of businesses home and abroad. What are the opportunities for me to expand? What does that mean in essence? I'm providing a particular service where I provide a particular thing to a particular clientele. Do I think more people might require more of other services away from this particular service that I'm offering? Is there a possibility that people might require more of something else? So let's say you're offering a particular service and the services you're offering to your clients is making hair oil products. Is there a possibility that people might need hair gels? Is there a possibility that people might need hair soaps? So let's say your services are cleaning offices. Is there a possibility that people might need your services to clean their homes? How can you possibly expand on these services so you can get more customers? That's where opportunity comes into the picture. And then threats is very easy. Once you just talk about threats, all you're referring to in terms of threats are your competitors. So nothing more matters in terms of threat. So threat is just a competitor. I work as a DJ of the Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce, and there's a British Chamber of Commerce. There's a DJ as well. The DJ in British is trying to get clients from American Chamber. He or she is my competitor. So you are in the business world, and what you do is selling fertilizers, and there's someone else who also sells fertilizer. That's your threat. They're competitors. These are one of, when you talk about trust, like I said, what easily comes to mind are people who do the same thing with you, and to a reasonable extent, maybe they do it better or they do it like you do, but you're struggling for the same quality of customers, the same demographics of customers, the same database. And then something else that can also amount as a threat could be, what are the changes of concern in your industry? Back in the days, I was not very technical. I was not very tech savvy. So me not being very tech savvy, that's a threat. So somebody's hiring you for a job and the person is asking you, are you able to coordinate a Zoom meeting? Is your Zoom camera working? Are you sure there will be no malfunctions with your camera? Are you sure there will be no malfunctions with your audio, your internet? Internet at this point in time is a threat to me, because if this internet goes off, I can no longer continue this Zoom call. I can no longer continue this session. What if it was a paid session? Maybe my clients would say, I'm not going to pay you all the monies because your internet went off at some point in time and you couldn't conclude on the session. My internet at that point in time is a threat to me. How can I fix that? I could do that possibly by getting 2 or more internet connections, so that if one goes off, immediately I can switch on to the next one. So for you who is into business, what is your threat? Your threat could be electricity. Electricity is a huge threat everywhere in Africa. So let's say the particular businesses you're doing has to do with cold chain where you supply marine, what's the word now? Okay, so you're selling fish, you're selling crabs, you're selling crayfish and all of these things. I have somebody who supplies me all of this seafood. So your business has to do with supplying of your business has to do with providing seafood, right? Electricity could be a huge threat. How can you surmount that? Do you need to get an inverter? Do you need to get 2 generators so that if one goes off, you know that one is always on standby? So it depends on the kind of business you do. You look at what can possibly become a stumbling block or a hindrance to enabling you look efficient, to enabling you delivering efficient services to your clients so that they can be impressed and happy. So how many threats have I highlighted? Case studies. Your threat is a competitor. Your threat is that factor that is not enabling you, or that will not enabling you deliver on the service you've been paid for efficiently. If you have underperforming staff, you have people you've hired to assist you in working and putting together your business. to assist you in delivering your services, and they are not delivering services, they could also be referred to as threats. They are threats to you because at the end of the day, if they don't have the capacity to deliver, your clients might not want to contact you for subsequent deals. What are the changes? What are the trends you're supposed to be dealing with in the industry? Do you need to be technically savvy? Do you need to understand how to use Google Maps? If you're an Uber driver, you're also in business, you're delivering a service. You're an Uber driver and your job is driving, you're delivering driving services and you're not familiar with Google Maps. I can be excused because I'm not a driver. But you who is a driver, that's how you earn a living. That's how you make a living. And you're not familiar with Google Maps. You don't know how to use Google Maps. Your services, you're into accounting and you don't know how to use accounting software. Okay, you deliver services, sewing. You're sewing and you're delivering, and you don't know how to deal with the latest styles. You don't know how to use embroidery. All of these things could be threats. So you have to continue honing your skills. Go online, watch YouTube videos, see how it's done. I watch videos a lot. Sometimes when people call me to give talks about US and Africa, I'm not all knowing. I go on YouTube, I watch. What is Biden saying about US economy? What is this person saying? What is that person saying? A few research here and there, and I know what to say. So like I said, the internet has made things very, very easy. At every point in time, you need to keep upscaling. You need to keep knowing what the trends are. How poverty is not an excuse. I don't have enough money is never an excuse, because you can seek knowledge by just spending $1 getting data, going online to get information. You can seek knowledge by asking questions. You can seek knowledge by attending meetings and trainings and sessions like this. So I hope I've been able to break down strength, that's what strengths, opportunities, your weaknesses, and your threats. I didn't realize my screen was not sharing. Just a moment. So we're done with the fourth screen. I'll try as much as I can to run through this very quickly. So now I did speak briefly about market analysis. When I was talking about market analysis, if you look through your screen very closely, you would see market share, market size. I spoke to you about market size. Market size is how many people are you looking at? What demographics? Male, female, the size of the market you're looking at is who are the people you want to sell to. Are you selling to the people in Kampala, or you're selling to the people in a totally different village or a totally different location in Uganda? What's your market size? Your market size might be everybody in Kampala. Those are the people you're trying to reach out to. Okay, so what are your market segments? Your market segments is, okay, am I selling to the people on the top echelon? Am I selling to the people on the middle echelon? Or I'm selling to people who are on the lower echelon, below poverty level? So who are the people you're selling to? These are your market segments. Are you selling to women? Are you selling to men? Are you selling to people above 50 and so on and so forth? What are your spending groups? Your spending groups could be people who you're selling to. How much do they earn? Are you selling to people who can afford these things from any strata of the economy? People who earn $10, they can afford it. I'm sorry, I'm using USD because there's so many countries on this call across Africa, and USD is like the general trading currency. So everybody understands that. So are you selling to people whose income are like on 100 USD, or you're selling to people whose income are on 200 USD or 500 USD or 1,000 USD? Who are the spending group you're looking at? Most times, as a startup business, it's advisable to focus on people who are on the lower rung of the ladder. So if you're providing services to people who are not super rich, people who are not in the middle echelon, but people who are on the lower echelon, virtually everybody can afford what you're selling without discriminating. At the end of the day, you want to provide service and you need money. Your business is to provide services and your business is to get money back. So it doesn't matter who you're getting the money from, whether it's people at the top, people at the middle level, or people at the lower echelon. As long as you are making profit and you're providing a service, that is absolutely fine. So for people who are starting out, like I said, it's usually advisable to focus on people on the lower echelon because they are more easily accessible, they are more reachable, and they have lesser criticisms compared to the people who are on the upper rung of the ladder. So you look at your competitors. I've spoken about competitors extensively. Who is your competitor? Is electricity a competitor? Is electricity a threat? Is your internet a competitor a threat? Do you know how to use Google Maps? Do you know the latest styles in fashion if you're into fashion, and so on and so forth? And then I spoke about your customer mix. Your customer mix is, so are you selling to people in Uganda, Rwanda, Tanzania, Kenya, or you're focused only on Uganda? I think I've spent enough time on SWOT and on market analysis. So I'll move over to the next slide, and I'll do this very quickly. So the next slide is why
Wofai, I will just give you a heads up. The session has 2 hours, so we are very comfortable with you. Yeah, so don't worry about time. In terms of time, we still have a whole hour to go. I just wanted to give you a bit of a relaxation on there.
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. That's very much appreciated. Okay, so we're on the next
Yes.
slide, and the next slide is why market analysis. I already explained to you why you need to do market analysis. There's no way you can start a business. It's like me saying, I want to come to Uganda and I want to start a water factory. And then I don't analyze how many people, you know what pure water, we call it pure water in Nigeria. So pure water is the water in the sachet. And then you have water in the bottles. And in as much as you have water in the bottles, there are different categories and different grades of water in the bottles. So I'm in Uganda and I just come into Uganda, I get the working permit and I'm living in Uganda and I say to myself, I want to begin a water business in Uganda. Okay, I'm beginning a water business in Uganda. What kind of water do Ugandans drink? Is it pure water in the sachet? Is that what people drink more? Or it's water in the bottle? Okay, the water in the bottle that people drink in Uganda, what are the prices? Is it the water in the bottle that is 1 USD or the one that is 2 USD or 3 USD or 50 cents? So you don't make that analysis, you don't study, you just go into Uganda and you begin your water factory and you're producing water in a bottle that is 10 USD. Nobody's buying that. And then you notice that the other person who sells water in a bottle for 50 cents, everybody's patronizing that water. Like in the streets, in the garages, in the public parks, everywhere you go, people are patronizing that particular product, that particular water service that is selling for 50 cents. You didn't take your time to do your market analysis. At the end of the day, you might be running a loss or you might not be as impressed as you would have wanted. You might not get what you want. So market analysis is very important. So if you look at your screen, I have said with market analysis, you can back up your business ideas with figures. What I mean by figures is everything is data. Everything is driven by data. Whether it's true or false, we have no idea. But all we know is there are reports, there are data in everything we do. So you say, how many people do you have in this country is data. We came on this program and the first thing I said to you was, I need to know how many businesses we have on the call, how many people are in active business. About 30 people raised their hands up. That is data. So when I'm giving a report and we're saying, okay, this training happened in Uganda, we're saying 30 people out of 50 people indicated that they have businesses. It could be more, but the frequency and the threshold is 30 is data. So you need to be able to keep data. Market analysis helps you keep data. In 2021, how many people patronized my business? Let's say 20 people patronized your business. Out of the 20 people who patronized your business, how many people were from Uganda? How many people were from Kampala? How many people were from Entebbe? Now, the demographics of people, it's all to do with packaging. It just makes you look serious. It makes you look like you know what you're doing when you're able to provide data. So you're selling your product to somebody and you're telling the person, 2023 is coming to an end. In 2023, I sold my product to 20 people. And these 20 people, 10 of them were from Entebbe, 5 of them were from Kampala, and 4 others were from various cities in Uganda, but no specifics because they didn't specify where they were coming from. Whether that data you're providing is indeed true or false, but it's advisable to provide accurate and correct data in case you're asked to provide evidence. But the fact that you're able to provide data, you know where your customer base is coming from. Anybody who looks at you, anybody who sees you, assumes that you are serious, you know what you're doing. They just assume that, oh, this person is above par. This person is above average. This person knows what they're doing. So if you look at this presentation on your screen, it says with market analysis, you can back up your business idea with figures, data, and facts, and therefore provide a convincing business plan. This subject matter today is not about how to write business plans. So I'm not going to go into the details of business planning. That's a totally different subject for another day. But if you were to put together a business plan, a business proposal, let's say you're writing to me and you're saying, Wofai, how can you possibly help me expand my business in Nigeria using your database and your contacts and network at the chamber? I could ask you, tell me about your business. When did you start? How much profit have you made? Who patronizes you? All of this data put together will be able to help to convince me to work with you because you're able to give me numbers. You're not just talking theory. By the time you face people who are professionals, you should be able to present figures. If you're not able to present figures, they don't take you seriously in our world of today. So when you're able to do your market analysis, you'll be able to come up with these figures. And when I say figures, it doesn't mean big figures. You don't need to sit down and quote all the big grammar. It's very easy. So you're running, what kind of business do I look at? Okay, so you're running a business where you provide food. You could say my restaurant caters to 100 people every month. And from these 100 people who patronize my business, 50 of them are young people between the ages of 10 to 25. You can also proceed to say 20 of them are working class people. How do you know they are working class people? because of the conversations they have when they come to my restaurants. They're mostly talking about their jobs. They're mostly talking about their bosses. They're mostly talking about the trends with their businesses. That's how we figured out that these people are working class people. 20 people who come to my restaurant are mostly talking about their jobs and their businesses. Now, you could also proceed to saying, okay, in the last year, in 2023, 10 of the people who patronized me were low income earners, more or less. What's this job? Like menial jobs. They were mostly from the, what's it called now? Let's say the factory site, not far from my restaurants, but they all commended the quality of my food and they did say they would come back. Do you understand how you're looking very coordinated, very serious, very authentic, very focused at what you're doing, simply because you're providing data, you're providing numbers. If you do not have your market analysis, you cannot provide this data, you cannot provide numbers. Now, moving ahead, it says you can recognize market potentials at an early stage and avoid making wrong decisions. So if your market analysis is properly done, I'm still going to use the water factory business. So if your market analysis is properly done and you see that in Entebbe, Uganda, people take more of sachet water that costs 50 cents. It helps you put together your business plan, focusing on how to produce water for 50 cents. Maybe increase it a little bit, say 60 cents. People are going to patronize you more because you've already done your market analysis. You've seen that this is the particular kind of water these people in this city drink. And I want to make it a little bit more standardized. I want to improve up my packaging, and with a little bit of marketing, I'm increasing it from 50 cents to 60 cents. You're going to get more patronage. So it helps you avoid making wrong decisions. Now, market analysis shows you which competing products are already in the market. I'm still going to use the water. So you're doing sachet water. There's sachet water, there's bottled water, there's different kinds of water, there's mineral water, there's stream water, there's spring water, and so on and so forth. If you do not go to the market, to check, how would you know? So you need to go through different places, different shops, different restaurants, different factories where they produce and sell water. Ask questions. You don't need to tell them you want to start that business. Just go in there, ask random questions. Oh, I'm from this organization, or I'm affiliated to AWE. Nobody's going to turn you down. Academy for Women Entrepreneurs. And I came here to inquire from you about this. How is this done? What is your patronage like? Who are the categories of people that patronizes you? How many days in a week do you work? How can you make this better? You're gathering information. So there are different ways you can gather information about the market. You can gather information by survey, going out on your own to inquire from these people about the businesses that they do and why they do the businesses. What is the patronage like? How can they make it better? Or you can get it through Google. Your best book right now, your best search engine. You go on Google, you check, go on YouTube, get books. You see all the details of everything you want for these businesses. But the bottom line is you must embark on your market analysis. Then the third one is market analysis shows you which products are already on the market. I've taken that. It shows you how to identify market entry barriers and estimate the market attractiveness. Market entry barriers, meaning you're seeing reviews on Google. Oh, I went to this person. There was a particular time I wanted to deal with a dentist. Now, I went on Google and I was searching through various dental services. I saw a lot of dental services and I was seeing reviews. Never underestimate the reviews and recommendations from other people. Sometimes people even use people they know to write out these reviews, but for how long can you do that? At the end of the day, whether or not you like it, people are reading these reviews and they're more interested in working with the companies that have positive reviews. You don't have to be big like the dental service on Google and all of these people who have, majestic reviews on Google. You could just ask somebody who you've rendered a service to. You say to the person, I'll be grateful if you can give me a recommendation. I do that a lot. So you're selling a service to a particular person and the person says, oh, I like what you've sold to me. It's really nice. Thank you very much. You say, oh, my pleasure. Do you mind recommending me to anyone else who needs the service? They might recommend you, they might not recommend you. But by the time you talk to at least 10 people asking for recommendations, one of the 10 people you've requested for recommendations for would definitely recommend you. And if you have one client, that's a push on your business. So we now move on to the next slide. The next slide is market analysis, content, and structure. Remember from the onset, at the initiation of this conversation, I did mention that I would like us to leave here understanding what market analysis is and why we need to do market analysis. So this is not for people who are already big in business. People who are already big in business is how do you sustain your business? This is mostly business fundamentals if you're about to start the business, such as your market analysis, your content and structure, such as Social demographics, that's the age, the sex, female or male, income, region, state. Is it Entebbe? Is it Kampala? What is the target group of your product? And what is it aimed at? I had already reviewed all of this talking points. So what target group is your product? What is your service aimed at? So is your target group for young people? Do you make meals? Do you produce baby food cereals for children between the ages of 6 months to 3 years? Is this your target audience? Is this your demographics? What is it aimed for? Or what is the aim? Now, what is your aim? Your aim, you're into fashion. You make clothes for people. I'm trying to make affordable clothing easily accessible to everyone. Do you print books? I'm trying to contribute to SDG, education. What is the SDG goal for education? Part of the reasons why US Department of State sponsors all of these programs is so we're familiar with a lot of these world terminologies. So you use all the big grammar, you're able to convince people. You talk about SDGs. So you're into agriculture. You talk about SDG 5, you're eliminating hunger. What you do is in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 5, and that is eliminating zero hunger. For people who are into renewable energy, people who are into energy, you are lighting up the world, SDG. Think about how it links up with SDG. All of these things, you see people doing it. It's no rocket science. It's no big deal. It's just about how they're packaging their businesses. So for the businesses you're doing, check all the SDGs. How is it linked to any of the SDG? When you're selling your products, you're selling your whatever, what's it called? Whatever service you're rendering, you link it to the SDGs. It makes you look, again, organized, serious, coordinated, informed, authentic, and as though you know what you're doing. So what is your service aimed at? Your service is aimed at eliminating hunger. Your service is aimed at making clothing more accessible. Your service is aimed at providing more accessible housing. Your service is aimed at providing, making women look good with better quality of hair, neater hair, and so on and so forth. Now you move on to the next one. What age group is your product aimed at? Very important. I had already highlighted that. What is the average income of your target market? I always told you, when you're starting a business, target small. Target the majority of the population, not the minority. How many rich people do you have in Uganda? How many rich people do you have in Entebbe? How many rich people do you have in Kampala? So if you're going to buy all the Gucci's and the Louis Vuitton, how many people can buy Gucci and Louis Vuitton? How many people can patronize you? How many people? So you look at the average income of your target audience. What are the income of these people? What can they afford? Make that thing affordable, but make it spread as far, as wide, as round, as much as possible. Where does your target market live? I mentioned this already, very critical. What's market size, your market development, how attractive is the market? You don't need to go into a business where nobody's patronizing. So it's like somebody who says they want to produce electric cars. Yes, the world is moving, sorry, that's me going a notch higher. The world is moving away from fossil fuels, you're moving away from, hand-driven cars with fuels, but you say you want to produce electric cars and you want to sell your electric cars in Uganda. Please, who's going to patronize electric cars in Uganda? Because we are not at that level yet in this part of the world. We're still struggling with even the normal remote cars that we drive on the streets every single day. So who is going to patronize electric cars? Maybe the president of Uganda, the richest man in Uganda, and a few other, big people in Uganda. Maybe they are going to patronize your electric cars, your Teslas, and all of that, right? But if you're selling a normal Mercedes-Benz, so somebody ships in 50 Mercedes-Benz for you at an affordable price. Guess what? Your neighbor wants to buy that Mercedes-Benz once he disposes of the car that he's using. Every other normal person wants to get a Mercedes-Benz. Somebody wants to do Uber. I don't know what taxi service is obtainable in Uganda, but I will use Uber generally because Uber is very popular. So everybody wants to do Uber. The next person who wants to do Uber, who wants to buy a car for someone to do Uber, comes to buy the car from you because it's affordable. So the lower your demographics when you're starting out, the higher the people you're reaching out to. Now you move on to the next talking points, business ethics. I did tell you about your market analysis. I mentioned about your business ethics. And then I mentioned the final one. I did say market analysis, business ethics, and value proposition. I keep forgetting value proposition. So we're done with market analysis. I do hope and pray that at the end of the day, everyone who's on this call understands what market analysis is all about and why you should be able to conduct a proper and thorough market analysis before you begin a business. And if you're already in the business and you didn't do a market analysis, it's never too late to begin. You don't need to spend gigantic money. You don't need gigantic people to begin your market analysis. You can just start by asking your competitors, people who are into the same thing as you do, ask them what they do differently, how much they make, how they make their income, who are their audiences in very polite and very courteous ways. You can also go on Google to find out the details about the market you're in and how you can make it better. You can go on YouTube to see the testimonies from people who have succeeded in the things you are doing and from people who have failed in the things that you're doing and see what lessons can be learned from there. So I do hope that you've been able to understand market analysis in details, because at the end of this session, we will be taking questions and answers. So we move on to the next one, which is business ethics. So like I mentioned to you, I did say that when you talk about business ethics, just a moment, I'm speaking and admitting people at the same time. So it seems like I'm multitasking. That's why you see me touching the screen back and forth. So
it's okay. We continue to admit them in the background. So you can just...
Thank you. Thank you. So when you talk about business ethics, I did mention to you that in life, there's good and bad. That's why there could be war somewhere and people are dying and everybody is screaming, why are you killing people? Oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is terrible. It's called humanity. So when you do something wrong to someone, any other person sees it and they say, oh, this is wrong, they stand up for them. It's humanity. Same thing in business. It's a humanity side to business. It's ethics. It's called ethics. So in politics, you elect a leader and the leader is taking all the money, chopping all the money, spending all the money, no accountability, no transparency. Oh, we want to vote him out. We don't want him anymore because he was not accountable. He's a bad person. So there's good and bad in every facet of life because we're humans. It's humanity. So what is humanity in business? Humanity in business is business ethics. Business ethics meaning, what is that thing that is a no-go area for you? What is that thing that is a deal breaker? I can't do this. Come rain, come shine. I stand by this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to sell fake products. I'm not going to sell products that are expired. Because I want to make money, I'm going to sell expired products at the expense of people's health. What is business ethics? Okay, that's going, a little bit deep. Again, I'll be very basic in very layman's terms. So business ethics are the moral principles that act as guidelines for the Business ethics are the moral principles that act as guidelines for the way a business conducts itself and its transactions. I tell people perception shapes reality. What I mean by perception shapes reality is I come on this program and I'm facilitating this event and I am late. Everyone is on the call and I join in 20 minutes later and I'm apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. Excuses, back and forth. First of all, everyone is disorganized for 5 minutes before the event starts. Everyone is disorganized, including the organizers, for whatever reason. That's number one. So when you talk about how you conduct yourself, so I'm on this call, and where I'm making this call from, there's a lot of noise everywhere, noise, children shouting, screaming, jumping everywhere. The audience can understand. I have kids in the house, right? I'm dealing with people who are children, but it's distracting the audience from what I'm talking about. It's distracting them from what they're supposed to learn. There's a distraction. They can't focus on what I'm talking about. Now, it can be excused, but it's not excusable, right? So in business, same thing applies. We give a lot of excuses why we don't conduct ourselves properly. So we're always coming up with all sorts of excuses. You can always give excuses for failure. Oh, the reason why I failed is because of this. The reason why this is not working is because of this. But again, guess what? While you're there giving excuses, other people are conducting themselves well and their businesses are moving. So when it comes to business ethics, how do you conduct yourself? How do you handle a transaction? You sell something to someone, you already agreed that the person was going to pay by end of the month. Why did you sell that thing on debt, on credit in the first place? So there are two rules. It's either you don't sell on credit or you stick to the agreement. It's not end of the month yet. The person says, I'm going to pay you by the 30th of December. And by the 15th of December, you're already calling back and forth. Please, where is my money? If you don't pay my money, I'm going to disgrace you. If you don't pay my money, I'm going to have issues with you. No sanctity. You're not respecting the agreement. Now, there's also the side of the receiver, the clients, right? But I'm talking about you who's rendering the service. I'm talking about your ethics, your conduct, how you conduct yourself, and how you conduct your transactions. Another thing, you're supposed to deliver something to someone at the airport. Now, you do know that where you live is a traffic-prone area. You're supposed to be up maybe 1 hour, 2 hours before the time so you can get there early enough to deliver the product. And then you wake up 15 minutes before the time and you begin to start rushing. You arrive there, you're all sweaty, you're all disorganized, everything, and the person has left. Oh, the reason why the person left is because something happened in my house. I woke up really late. My child was sick. This happened, that happened. But you could actually ask someone else to deliver on that thing. Nothing stops you from calling the person to say, look, I will be 20 minutes late. I'll be 10 minutes late. I'll be 1 hour late. I might not be able to meet up with the timing that you've given me because a circumstance beyond my control just arose. The person is calm. It puts the person's mind to rest. It shows that you are ethical. You know what you're doing. There's courtesy. You obey the sanctity of contracts. Just simple corporate governance. It's called corporate governance, corporate ethics, interhuman, interpersonal relationships. Okay, you deliver a product to somebody, still talking about business ethics, and the person complains about the product. Remember, a client and a customer is always right. My clients are always right, right? Even if I have to argue with the client, I do that in a very respectful way. You can state your points respectfully without being impolite, without talking down on anybody. Remember, they're paying you for a service. You're taking their money. So somebody supplies a product to you or a service to you, and at the end of the day, you offer this service or this product, and they complain, oh, it wasn't good enough. You didn't do well. I don't like this thing you gave me. And then you two get upset. How much did you even pay me for the service? How much did you pay me? The money you paid me was not even enough. Do you know I had to add my own money? I see that happen all the time. I had to add my own money to this thing. This thing you did, it wasn't even good enough. Please, if you don't want to patronize me, go somewhere else. That's not the way to handle your business. That's not the way to handle your transactions, even if you have 1,000,001 customers. Because at the end of the day, even if your customers stay back with you, it's because they don't have an option. Once they have another option, a better option, somebody who can deliver what you do and do it as good as you do, they're out. Now, you deliver a service to somebody and the person doesn't like it. I'm not talking about people who intentionally want to put you down. That's a subject for another day. They don't like the service you delivered. Oh, this thing you delivered, I don't like this product at all. It's not at par. What I saw is not what you gave me. It's not good. No, refund my money. It's simple. You who's offering the service, you speak to the person politely. I understand your concerns. I totally understand your concerns. I understand how you feel because right now I am assuming I am in your shoes. I do apologize for what has happened. I would ensure that this does not happen again. I would pay more attention, more detail to it. I am sorry. And you don't need to go on and on apologizing. I'm sorry. It just seems like you're trying to escape the reality. You're putting up the sorry facade. You're just putting up the sorry just so the conversation ends. No, you have to address the subject. You have to address the subject. Somebody has raised a complaint. Somebody has raised an issue about a service you are offering, about a product that you're delivering. The person says it's not good enough. You need to explain. Oh, you think it's not good enough? I am sorry about that. There's always room for improvement. Right now, we are working on this to ensure that our services are better. The next time you patronize me, I assure you the services will be better than the previous one you got. I do hope that you find a reason to work with me some other time. Give me a second chance and I'll do it this way. You don't have to go into an argument. Oh, no, what do you mean? Other people's services are not as good as mine. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from. So there are ways to address issues. When you start to attack a client, somebody who's paying you for a service, no matter what, it is not ethical because they're giving you money. They're parting with their hard-earned money for your service. There's so many people who offer your products. Don't forget. But they looked at you out of all of these people and they decided to work with you. So the least you could do is to be polite and courteous to them. Still speaking about ethics, business ethics, somebody comes to meet you and they say, okay, this particular thing you're selling, do you know other people are selling it for like 10 times the amount? You can sell this thing for $20 and make profits. Whereas you do know that the max profit you could make from this, and it's still okay, is an additional $10. Let's say you bought this thing for $10 and you're selling it at $20. That's more than enough profits, right? But then you see some other people are selling it for $25. You who has gone through a US State Department training, AWE is sponsored by the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs, put together by the US Department of State. You should be different. The reason why America has spent money on training us, I am also an alumni of one of US exchange programs. I'm an alumni of Young African Leaders Initiative. So the reason US has invested in us, right? They've trained us, they've given us all of this training, is so that we can be different from other Africans. There's millions of people in Africa. Africa is like one of the largest continents, the population of Africa after India, China, Africa, right? With all of this population in Africa, they selected a few of us. Let's say the entire continent, they selected 10 million. Let's say they selected 100 million from the entire continent. How many people are in Africa? You're chosen among the few that have been selected. You should be different. So other people are adding huge amounts of monies because they want to be rich overnight, get rich or die trying, quick get rich syndrome. You too who has undergone US trainings, you too who has undergone leadership trainings, you too who's supposed to be ethical and lead by example, you're also inflating your price. No. So by the time you're putting reasonable amounts of profits, people can see through that. You can also use that as a selling point. You can also use that as a source of marketing. You can also say, okay, other people are selling their products for so amounts. I'm sorry, the airplane. Other people are selling their products for XYZ amount, but my product is going for XYZ amount, which is a lot lesser than what other people are selling their products for. And that is because I understand that times are hard, things are hard. I want to make my products accessible and affordable to everyone. Everything is about how you package yourself in business, especially when you're starting out. So I'm going to take it again. So many other people are selling specific products, and the products are like very expensive. They're adding like $20 profit to what they're selling, right? And you feel like, oh, I'm running a loss. You're not running a loss. So you are adding $10 profit to what you're selling. At the end of the day, you could also use that as a strong selling point. You could easily say that, okay, other people are selling this thing for 25, whereas I'm selling for 23 because I want to make it affordable to every demographic. I want to make sure every household is able to afford this. That is why I'm putting my price at this. Please tell me why people will not patronize you as long as the service is good enough. So I've spoken very quickly about ethics, how you conduct yourself in your business and how you conduct transactions. So if you know that at the end of the day, it's going to result in unnecessary issues, tainting the reputation of your company, tainting the reputation of the business you do, please don't engage in buy for credit, buy and pay credit later. Like don't sell on credit. Don't take credit. If you think at the end of the day, people might use that against you, that might not pay off. But don't get into an agreement with someone. The person says, I'm going to be paying you by the end of the month on the 30th. But because you have this preconceived idea that, oh, people owe and they don't pay. It's already the 15th of the month and you're already chasing them. Can I have my money? If I don't get my money by end of the month, this is no. You must respect sanctity of agreements. So you have an agreement with someone, this is what I produce. And the person says, can you give me XYZ number of this? When it's time to sell to the person, you think the person has cheated you. You want to inflate the price. There, no, you must honor the sanctity of contracts. That is what makes you ethical. That is what makes you ethical. So in business, you say, I'm going to be delivering 5, deliver 5. You don't bring 4. I'm still trying to do 1. I'm not done with the 1. When I was doing 1, NEPA, the electricity went off. I'll come back with it later. Hook or crook. Instead, extend the timing. I'm sorry. I know I promised I was going to deliver this today, but I encountered some challenges and I might not be able to meet up with the delivery today. Would it be fine if I deliver tomorrow? Could you consider an extension? Let the person now say, no, bring what you have. Bring the 4. You can bring the 1 later. Not you just sitting down on your own and assuming that you have some problems. Everybody has problems. And then you've agreed with this person that we're going to deliver 5 and you're taking 4. Did you ask him if 4 was fine? Did you ask him if he had the luxury of time to allow you to deliver the product the next day? These are all where business ethics comes into the picture. Now, still speaking about business ethics, I spoke about manner of approach. How do you approach your customers? How do you approach the people you are working with? When something goes wrong, do you just get upset with them and you talk back at them and you're rude to them? Or you take your time to analyze the situation, tender a proper apology, and then assure them that you're working on making these things better, not to forestall further occurrences in the future? How do you approach your clients? All of this is where business ethics comes into the picture. So we now move on to the last but not the least, which happens to be the final one. And the final one is the value proposition. Value proposition. So when you talk about value proposition, what is the value you're bringing to the people who are purchasing your products? What value are you bringing them? Okay, so this is the last screen that shows the summary of business ethics. So it says morality, responsibility, trust, reliability, behavior, choice, relationship principles. All of these things are very self-explanatory. Okay, a few minutes more until we round off. You talk about value proposition. When you talk about value proposition, what is value proposition? Value proposition, look through your screen. Benefits, features, experience. That's for the product. So for the product, I'm selling you a particular product. What is the benefit of using this product? What is the benefit of using this product? What are the features of this product? What is the experience of the people who have used this product? What is the experience of the people who have used this product? What are the benefits? What are the features? What is your value proposition? Okay, a quick question. I just want an answer from one person. Tell me the name of your business and tell me if you have a slogan. So if you don't have a slogan, you're going to craft one slogan now. So I'll start with myself. Now I'm going to come up with a business here and I'm going to give myself a slogan. So now my business is potable water. Okay, let's say my business is Wofai. That's my name, Wofai Potable Water. My slogan is quality water for every home. Do we understand? Do we understand? Okay, so it helps you sell when you have a slogan. Like your slogan is like your motto. It's like something that backs up your business. So now all of us, we're going to create a business here and give it a slogan. But I just want to take from one person just to be sure that the person has been following all the while. So I'm going to start with myself. My business is Wofai Potable Water. Wofai Potable Water. My slogan is quality drinking water for all. Wofai Potable Water, into brackets, inverted commas, quality drinking water for all. So I need just one person to tell me what their business is, the name of their business, and their slogan. So who's going? Just raise your hand, just one person. Okay, Dinah. Yeah, Dinah, please unmute yourself. Okay, I'll take Dinah and Gladys. Dinah and Gladys, please. Let's start with Dinah.
Okay, my business is I do events planning and events, party favors and gift hampers. So my slogan is more than meets the eye. So you get more than what you would imagine.
Dinah, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Dinah.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, I'm saying that my business is Wokembo and I do events planning and management. I do gift hampers and I do party favors. So my slogan is more than meets the eye. So you get over and above what you expected for me to deliver.
Fantastic, fantastic, Dinah. More that meets the eye, or more than what meets the eye?
More than what meets the eye.
Fantastic, more than what meets the eye. Meaning, this is what I see. But at the end of the day, what I'm going to be giving you is more. You're going to get more value for what you're paying for. You're going to get more value than what you think you can get. So let's take Gladys. Gladys, what is your business? What is your slogan?
Thank you. Hello, everyone. The business is Floods Cosmetics, and we are into oil perfume production. Our slogan is distinctively you, which means like when you buy a product, you are unique. You don't go in town, walking in town, and everyone is wearing that scent. You are unique, distinctively you. Thank you.
I will take one more person. So I've gotten to slogans, more than what meets the eye. I'm giving you more value than what you're taking. Distinctively you. In a world where there's so many fakes, In a world where everybody's trying to be fake, everybody's trying to copy one another, you are unique, you are distinct. So distinctively you. So let's take the final person, Julian, your slogan, your business.
Thank you. My name is Julian Mwesije. We manufacture detergents and disinfectants. Our product is 1,000 miracles, and our slogan we have a range of detergents. We have 30 because we intend to expand to different countries. So our slogan is for clean nations.
Wow, for clean nations, clean energy, clean environments, clean oil, clean water. You're in line with the SDGs of keeping the environment clean. It aligns with the SDGs of clean environment. So your mantra is about cleanliness. Okay, I still see so many hands. So I'll just take the final, Gladys and Lucy. That'll be all. So let's take Gladys. Gladys, your business, your slogan. Lucy, your business, your slogan.
Yeah, this is Lucy. My business is Urban Snail Farm, and my slogan is Hidden Treasures in Snail. And our business does innovations around slime, which is a product from snail, and we do creams and lotions and other skin products.
Fantastic. So your business is actually in line with the SDGs of zero hunger. Like I said, you must always tie your business to the SDGs. It's just a way of packaging what you do. So your business is also in line with zero hunger. So you know what the benefits of snails are. Snails are very nutritious. So you're making nutritious snails available to a lot of people. You're making nutritious snails easily affordable to a lot of people. So the final person was Lucy. Lucy, you're the final person. Let's take your slogan and your business. Okay, that will be all.
I think she's muted.
Someone can send her a message. I think she has muted herself unknowingly. Or directly call her, preferably.
Hi, Wofai, you are muted.
Again?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that. Thank you very much. So I was saying that when you look at the value proposition canvas, everyone who has spoken well. So from the person who said distinctively unique to the one who spoke about, cleanliness, I linked what you said to the SDGs, talking about clean environment, snails, nutrition, zero hunger, SDGs for food, to the one who said more than what meets the eye. What is the value that you're proposing? Your value comes to your slogan. So now you're going to sell snails to somebody. There are so many people that are selling snails. Why should I buy your snail? You should buy my snail because my snails are naturally produced. I did not induce the growth of these snails with fertilizers. The snails are clean. They are properly washed. Disinfected. We make sure there are no organisms, there are no dirt in the final products that we sell to the market. Why should I buy your snails? Our snails are picked from the bushes directly. They are not induced to grow. Why should I buy your snails? From all the snails that we have in the bushes, the snails that we pick are the best species. The best species of snails. So there are different snails. There's green snail, there's white snail, different kinds of snails. Our snails are the best species. Why should I buy your perfume? You should buy my perfumes because the kinds of chemicals that we use for my perfumes are natural. They don't cause you sneezing. Yeah. Like when somebody sprays perfume, the person sprays perfume, immediately you start sneezing if you're not using very expensive perfume. You should buy my perfume because you don't need all the big monies to wear good perfumes. My perfume is very affordable. And by the time you use it, the effect on my perfume is as someone who used huge amounts of monies to buy designer perfumes. It doesn't cause you sneezing. The air and the fragrance that comes from my perfume does not choke. My perfume lasts long. It doesn't stain your clothes. My perfumes are made from natural products. So you must know the benefits. Why should I buy your product? What is the benefit for me buying your products? Why? So many people are selling what you're selling. If you don't have an idea of what to say, please ask. There's people like me. You can always reach out to me. Ask me questions. Tell me, oh, you're starting a business. You like to sell your products. What do you think? What should be my selling points? I would ask you a few questions about your business. I'll ask you a few questions about your products, and I'll tell you what to say to people that will make them interested in buying. So what are the benefits of using your products? Why should I use your services? You should use my services because at the end of the day, the people who I'm sending to clean are people who have passed through AWE training. Why should you patronize me? You should patronize me because I am trained by the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs. It's a program sponsored by the US Department of State. Other people who are selling all these products, they will not be as ethical as me because they've not passed through the US Department of State training. That puts you at an edge automatically. Anything America, whether or not we like it. America is one of the best countries in the world, if not the best country in the world. They are investing on us. They are training us. So you're going to sell your products. Why should I buy from you? I'm an alumni of AWE, Academy for Women Entrepreneurs. We're trained by the US Department of State on business. We are experienced. We know exactly what we're doing. We're ethical. We ensure that we give out the best. All of this should be your selling points and the benefits of why we should buy from you. Then you talk about the features. What are the features? Oh, this thing is durable. I'm selling this fan. This fan is very durable. I can assure you that for the next 2 years, if you buy and you use this fan, you're not going to be repairing until after 2 years. You should buy and use this fan because at the end of the day, after this thing was produced, different people from various organizations, top-ranking organizations, were among the people who reviewed the product, and they all certified that this product is one of the best. These are all of the reasons you should be presenting to people when it comes to you selling your products. So what are the other features of your product? You should also tell them that the people who you're working with are also members, people who have been trained by AWE. There are so many volunteers from AWE who are a part of my network. Part of the reasons why you should buy my products is because I have sold to 100 people in the last 1 month, and all of them had positive reviews about my products. There were no complaints. Part of the reasons why you should buy my product is because in the last 1 year, I have sold to 50 people, and all the 50 people said good things about the product, and they said they would come back. So I want you to also give it a try. You can start small. And there's one thing I notice about people. When you go walk into an organization, you want to sell a product to somebody, or you walk in anywhere, you want to sell a product. I notice that people, you start to impose on them what to buy. Buy this one is good. Buy this one is good. Buy this one. No. Pay attention. Listen. What exactly do they want? They want a particular product. Do you have it? First of all, check, do you have it? Oh, I don't have this particular product you want. I'm very familiar with that particular product you want. We are working on producing it. But in the meantime, can you try this one? Pending when I have that one that you want. Not somebody tells you they want to buy this particular one. I want roasted snails. And what you're selling is boiled snails. No. Those roasted snails are not good for you. They are not good. Don't buy because you don't have. No. People who are smart can see through the fact that you just want to sell your product. I want roasted snails, whereas what you're selling is boiled snails. Oh, you want roasted snails? We used to have roasted snails. We used to make roasted snails. In fact, even yesterday, we had roasted snails. But as of today, we don't have it. I will try to make sure that the next time I'm coming, I have it. But in the meantime, the one I have here is boiled. Can you try this boiled one and see if you like it? Not just going straight up. No, this is the one I have. This is the one. You have to buy this one. You have to. People know when you're trying to manipulate them. And when it comes to business, you should never be seen as trying to manipulate anybody to buy your products or your service. That's where the feature comes into play. Experience. Always try to get a recommendation. As much as you can, when people buy your products and they like your products, tell them to give a recommendation. Whether it's saying it verbally, it doesn't have to be recorded. It doesn't have to be recorded. Just let them say something positive. Like now, you meet me and I buy your product. Okay, did you like it? Yes, I did. Oh, it was fantastic. When you're going to sell to someone else, you're adding all of those people that have said your product is good to your data. So you're saying, I sold this thing to 20 people last month and 15 of them said the product is fantastic. They love the product. They would like to come back. So let people share their experience of using the product with you. You should also share your experience because you're the one selling your product. You should be confident in what you're selling. There's an analysis that somebody is always giving me. The person is always saying that plantain chips, I'm sure we know what plantain chips are. Everywhere in the world, plantain chips is plantain chips, right? But some people package plantain chips so well that you look at it and you're amazed, like, wow. Whereas some other people are making the same plantain chips, but they just do it very shabbily. They just do it in a very, very careless manner, just put it anyhow, package it anyhow and sell. Nobody wants to buy. Life is all about how you package yourself. Life is all about how you package your products. Life is all about how you package what you're selling. You might not be selling the best. Some people might not be selling the best, but they have customers, they have patronage. It's how they package themselves. If I come and sit down here right now, if you Google me, you Google Wofai Samuel, you would see all the things I've done. Globally, in Africa, in the US, in Europe, everywhere. Everywhere. Right? And then I come and sit down here and I'm looking shabby. I sit down here, my shirt is torn. The jacket I'm wearing is torn. The hair I'm wearing is scattered. The brooch I'm wearing, everything is torn. US badge upside down. The first thing you will say to yourself is, AWE brought this facilitator. They said she's an acting director general. Why is her hair so scattered? Why is she wearing torn clothes? Whether or not you like it, that's what you would say. You would question yourself, even if you don't say it out. Does it demystify the fact that I know what I'm saying? I know what I'm saying. My torn clothes is not going to affect the session. My scattered hair is not going to affect the session. I have a wound on my face. It's not going to affect the session. I'm still going to deliver on the session. But for the fact that my clothes are torn, the fact that there's a big injury on my face, no plaster, my hair is already scattered. Initially, you're confused. Like, is this the facilitator? Is everything okay? What's happening? Why is she looking the way she's looking? Are you sure we're in the right place? Perception. Perception. You're going to sell to people. You don't have to wear expensive things. There's things that sell in Nigeria, you pick from the ground, cheap clothes, but look neat. Look neat. You wear your neat clothes. You don't have to wear expensive clothes. Cheap clothes, neat, ironed, washed. You're looking nice. You wear your nice slippers or your nice shoes. You carry your bag. You walk in somewhere and you sell your product. But you're going to sell a product, your shoe is scattered, your hair is scattered, your clothes is scattered, everything is just so scattered. That's where the experience comes into the picture. So you who is even using the product, you're not even sure of yourself. See the way you are looking. See the way you are looking, and you're coming to sell, you want me to buy, you want to get my money, you don't have to be expensive. I say that all the time, but just try as much as you can to look neat and presentable so that it's easy for people to communicate with you. When you walk into an office, I know so many places in Africa, there's no water. I know that. With a lot of households, there's no water. But for the particular day you're going to sell a product, please, a day before, go and look for water. Have a good bath. Iron the clothes you're wearing. Make sure it's neat. Wash your slippers. Pick up your handbag. Walk into the place. So now you're not looking expensive, but you are neat. You are clean. You are approachable. Whoever you're going to sell this product to is able to sit down and have a conversation with you because you're accessible. And then you can now talk about your experience. Oh, this is my product. This is the product I've been using. There's something I noticed. When I want to buy a product from somebody and the person tells me, this is what I use, I'm more impressed. I'm usually very impressed. So when I want to buy a product from you and you tell me, oh, I sell this cream. I use the cream. I'm like, wow. This person uses what she sells. Wow. I'm usually very impressed. But some people use their own products, but they don't market it. They don't talk about it. They don't say, oh, this is what I use. So you say, okay, I sell snails. And then you're marketing your products. You don't even talk about the fact that you use it. You could tell them, oh, I sell snails. Everybody in my house includes snails in their diets. I sell oil perfumes. That's the perfume I'm using right now on my hand. This is the perfume I'm using. I sell water. There's a bottle of water. It's in my bag. That's the water I drink. I make clothes. I am wearing my own clothes that I make. I do cleaning, even in my own house. I'm my staff and my people. I'm the one who, I don't employ anyone else. I don't hire the services of anybody to clean my house. I do the house cleaning myself. Anyways, enough of products. So let's go to customers. What do they want? What do they need? What are their fears? Substitute. This is it. Wants, needs, fears, substitute. Wants, I already spoke about wants. When somebody wants something, don't impose what you want on the person. The person says they want a particular thing. Give that thing to them. If you don't have it, tell them, can you patronize me with this one? Subsequently, I will make sure this one that you want is available. Now, needs. What do they need? What do they need? It's very important. Very important, meaning no matter what you tell them, that particular thing that they need is what they need. There's no way you can convince them to buy anything else. No matter what you tell them, it is that particular thing that they need. It's okay. There's no force. You tell them, okay, no problem, next time. Because no matter how you try, you cannot convince them. It's that particular thing they need. That's what they need, and you don't have it. Okay, next time, maybe I'll look for somebody who has it. Excuse me, and then you move on to fears. Some people, when they don't know you, they don't want to patronize you. I'm sure some of us who are into business, we've encountered that a few times. So some people would never patronize you if they don't know you. They're not sure of what you're selling. Nobody introduced you to them. You just walk up to them. They feel like, oh, this person, she just wants to make money. I'm not sure of her product. I'm not sure that product is good. I don't even know her. Maybe if I give her my money, I want to buy something from her online. She might walk away with it. She might run away with it. We might never see her again. So people have that fear. What I'm buying, is it authentic? This perfume I'm buying, am I not going to end up wasting my money? It is your duty and your responsibility to calm down their fears. You say to them, oh, a lot of people also have the same issues. Initially, when I started selling this product, they were not confident about the product. They were not sure that this product is authentic. But after they used it, some of them came back to me. You can keep those reviews on your phone. You show them the reviews. You try to allay their fears. Not when they tell you, oh, I'm shocked. You're like, oh, God forbid. You don't bring religion into business. I see people do that a lot. I swear to God, oh, God, oh, I can never do that. I'm a Christian. You're selling to different demographics of people. You're selling to Muslims, you're selling to atheists, you're selling to Judaism, you're selling to Jews, you're selling African traditional religion, all kinds of people. You don't want to bring in religion. You don't want to convince me by using religion because everybody's religious. Everybody has one thing or the other they're serving. Convince me with facts and points. My product is genuine because a lot of people have been using the product and the reviews have been good so far. I assure you that if you buy this product, you will not have any issues. But if you have any issues, call my attention. This is my number. I can be easily accessible. You can reach me anytime. Not start saying, oh, God forbid, I can never lie. Oh. No, that's bringing in religion. That should be your final option. Instead, substitute it by saying, I am AWE trained. AWE is an exchange program by the US Department of State. We've been trained on leadership, and as leaders, we don't tell lies. As leaders, we don't cheat people. As leaders, we have ethics. As leaders, we have ethics. Those are the things you should be saying. And then substitute. I told you that when you treat people bad, once they have options, they would abandon you and move on to their other options. So at every point in time, never allow people substitute you. Whenever they call you or doing business, respond. People send you emails, try and respond. People send you messages, try and respond. You miss people's phone calls and you know it's business. I'm not talking about some random phone calls that they're just calling you, oh, I want to say hi. People just calling you random, oh, I just want to greet you and things like that. You're a businesswoman, you don't have time for all that. You miss such calls, they send you a message on WhatsApp, oh, thank you very much, I appreciate it, move on. You're not obliged to call back. Everybody has 24 hours every day, and what you do with your 24 hours is very important. You're not going to spend your 24 hours appeasing people that called you for no reason. That's not what you want to do. So you know the calls that are vital. You're a business person, people are calling you for business, you missed their calls. Call them back, send them messages on WhatsApp, send them text messages. Oh, I missed your call. Sorry, I was busy with this at the time. What do you want me to do for you? Can we talk about it? You give them priority, not some person in your village or some person on the street that is just calling you. They're calling you to say hi. They're calling you to greet you. And then you're picking up the phone. Everybody, you're greeting. Elon Musk and Dangote and all those people, they didn't get to where they are by greeting everybody. So you need to prioritize. You need to prioritize. You need to prioritize. Okay, now we move on to the next slide. We're gradually coming to an end. So the next slide is the explanation of value proposition, which I've already explained in details. A value proposition is a short statement. It's a short statement. That's your slogan. Be distinctively unique. More than what your eyes can see. And so on and so forth. Your value proposition is a short statement that communicates why buyers should buy your product. My value proposition on this program is Wofai potable water. Accessible, quality drinking water for everyone. I've told you already why you need to buy my water. Quality drinking water for everyone. That's my slogan. It communicates everything. So you're going to sell your product. Oh, my name is this. I'm from so company. My name is, let me see a name. So my name is Achieng Sarah. My name is Achieng Sarah. I manufacture perfumes, and my perfumes are quality, accessible for every demographic of society. My perfumes are quality, made from natural ingredients. My perfumes are quality, made from natural ingredients. So anything you're saying, you should be able to sell your product with it. You should have it. If you don't have a slogan, create a slogan today. If you don't have a slogan after this presentation, after this session, go home, think about your business, and think about something you can create as value. Create a slogan. That slogan should communicate your value to your business. Whenever you're going to introduce yourself, my name is, final introduction. My name is Monica Okumu. Monica Okumu. My name is Monica Okumu. I produce hair creams. Efficiency for hair growth. Efficiency for dilapidated hair. Just come up with something that can sell your product. So I said a value proposition is a short statement that communicates why buyers should choose your products or services. It is more than just a product or service description. It is a specific solution that your business provides and the promise of value that a customer can expect you to deliver. That is self-explanatory. We move on to the next slide. So we have 4 more slides and we are done. Why is value proposition important in business? Why? Why do I need to give a slogan? Why do I need to tell you why you need to buy my product? A powerful value proposition helps your customers truly understand the value of your company's products and services. So you walk into a place, this is what I'm selling. You see people focusing on the price. People walk into your organization. People walk into your company, they want to buy your product. Somebody spends time explaining and narrating how much. This one is 5,000. We can give you discounts for 4,000. This one is 1 million. We can give you discounts. You spend so much time on the money. Whereas this product, this one is good for this. This one helps with this. So number of people, 5 people bought this one and they were very, very satisfied. This one sells faster than this one because it is good. This service, you need to patronize my cleaning service because at the end of the day, when we clean the interior of your house, we also clean the exterior at no cost. When we clean the interior of your house, we also spray your flowers at no cost. Focus on the value. Then the person is the one who will not tell you, how much is it? By the time you keep talking about the value, the person would ask you, okay, so tell me this thing, how much is it? How much do you say you're selling it for? Oh, no, I don't have that amount. Give me discounts. But once you go, you're selling something, you're selling this fan. Buy this fan, it's 1,000. But if you don't have 1,000, I can give you 900. How much do you have? No, I can't sell it like that. No value. No value. You're not talking anything about value. I want you to buy this fan. I need you to buy this fan because this fan does this, it does that. And if you use this fan, this is what you're going to get. You can put it to try. You can test it. Then the final thing, it costs XYZ amount of money. But I can give you a discount. Another thing I was telling somebody yesterday, my hairdresser, if this thing is going for 200, you can begin with 210 so that you can give them, so that it feels like you're giving them a discount. So now somebody's coming to buy this thing. How much am I going to sell it? 200. You can begin by saying, this is actually 220, but because you're a first-time customer, you're patronizing me for the first time, I will give you for 200. Because I want you to come back. I'm not going to give you the normal price for 210 or 220. I will give you for 200. You realize that the person will not continue pricing down 150, because you've already told them 220 and you're giving them discount. But by the time you begin with the actual price is 200, you've spent the entire time talking about discount, no value. I want to offer a consultancy service. How much am I going to pay you for your consultancy service? $100. Oh, no, I don't have $100. Can I give you 70? Oh, no, you can't give me 70 because I'm hiring staff. I'm hiring this. I'm hiring that. No. This is a service I'm offering. By the time I'm done with this consultancy, you would realize that you get more clients. You realize that your business will be more credible. You realize that you get more patronage and more mileage, more attraction. Normally, this service is for 500, but I'm going to give you for 450. It sounds better. So a powerful value proposition helps your customers truly understand the value of your company's products and services. It also helps your ideal customers see how your services benefits them and their best option. I'm rounding off so that we can take questions. Now, value propositions, please go through these ones on your own. I'm going to forward this slide presentations to the coordinator for Awe, so you can also have that. So how do you create a value proposition? The trick to creating a good value proposition is to know your product or idea well and how it compares to your competitors. And very importantly, know what your audience wants and know what they need. What do they want? Are you giving them what they want? Or you're selling your own, what you think you want? What do they want? Which particular product do they want? Do you have it? Can you create it? If you cannot create it, can you learn how to create it? And then we move on to the last slide. Conclusion. What is your value proposition? What will be your first step to analyzing your market? What business ethics do you hold close? The business ethics I hold close is the business ethics of integrity. I hold integrity very, very close. I hold accountability very, very close. And I hold, what is it called now? Quality. I'm about quality. If I'm delivering anything my name is attached to, I want the best quality. Instead of that, I don't do it at all. So I hold integrity, I hold quality, and I hold accountability very close. What will be your first step to analyzing the market? Your first step to analyzing the market is knowing what exactly you want to do and going around to ask questions about that market. How successful is that market? What is your value proposition? What are you bringing to the table? At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to pause and take questions. And I do hope that the last 1.5 hours we've been spending talking to one another has not been in vain. I hope it's been very educative. You've been able to gain valuable insights into starting your business. I'm open to questions. Thank you very much.
Oh my God. This has been completely amazing. I'm still trying to get the words. No, thank you so much for such an amazing conversation. It has been very insightful. It has been rich. I took up so many nuggets. Aisha has been typing endlessly. I don't even know how she picked up on this. There are very many people saying we can't even write all this. The nuggets are so many. No, thank you so much for giving us your time. For sure, I am 100% sure that everyone who is here today cannot say that they wasted their time. So I thank you so much. I know that there are going to be questions, but maybe I can first take those that were in the chat. There were some in the chat. So let me read those as people will put up their hands as we start. Let me see. I miss just a minute. I'm trying to get this a bit faster. Let me see. Okay, these are all nuggets. This is talking about the presentation. There's a, yeah. So I think you kind of answered this, but it is there in the chat. How can you make market analysis a cheap exercise? Any clues? That is one of them. There was, this is detailed. How would I categorize the customers' work? I don't know. I think that how would I categorize the customers? Maybe you can ask the question. I don't know who asked this question, Claire. I don't know. You can ask the question. It's not very clear, but I think it's an important question. Claire, maybe when we open the Q&A, you can ask the question yourself. Then Lucy says, do you call these costs operational costs? Money used to do all these activities related to money. Do you call all these activities operational costs? It's very confusing questions. The way the English is written. Do you call these costs operational costs? She's talking about the money used to do all these activities related to market analysis. Are these operational costs? If you are a starter, where does this money come from? That's question number 2. Maybe that's why people jump in and out of a business. Yeah, so that's her question. And let me see if I have another one. Number 3, there's a Tim Robina who asked, let me put this out I'm trying to get a clearer view. My questions are not very clear. Just give me a minute. Maybe as I'm getting the questions, 2 people can ask other questions so that we take this Q&A as I figure out my chat box clearer. Can we take 2 hands? We already have 2 questions. Let us take 2 hands. Ladies, very quickly, please take the opportunity to just raise your hand really quickly and ask 2 questions. And then as I sort out my chat. Going once. Ladies, I'm sure there are so many questions or remarks or something like that. If we could just put up your hand or just unmute and ask a question, that is also fine. That would be great. Okay, maybe you can just answer the first 2 questions as I figure out my chat box. It's a bit small. I can't read the questions well. So the first 2 questions I asked you, I hope you had written them somewhere. Had you written them? You're muted?
Okay, so what are the first 2 questions? I didn't clearly get them.
So I have to go back to the chat. I don't know why my chat box is so small today. My chat box is so small. Okay, maybe this will be better. So the first question is, how can you make market analysis a cheap exercise? Any clues? That is question number 1. Have you had that? Okay, I'm going to ask the second question so that you take at least 2 questions at the same time. So that was the first question. How can you make market analysis a cheap exercise? The second question is, how would I categorize the customers when I drop the product at point of sale? It would mean investing in a market analysis. That question wasn't clear. I had asked the person who asked that question to ask that question out loud. If they're unable to, let's just move to the next one. The next question is, do you call these costs operational costs? This question is related to the money that does market analysis. Are these operational costs? If you are a starter, where does this money come from? And then she concludes and says, maybe that is why people just jump in and start a business without doing the market analysis. I guess she's saying they don't have money to do a market analysis, and that's why they just jump in and start a business. So maybe that question is actually related to the first one. How can we do this market analysis at the cheapest cost so that we don't just start a business without doing an analysis? Yes, I'm able to see a third question. How do you respond to and manage clients who stubbornly refuse to pay. Surprisingly, they do exist. We could take these 3 questions, and then I will ask ladies to put up your hands as she's taking the questions so that I can pick you immediately after. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So I would like to just go through the questions myself. I think I'll understand that better. This is from Clara. It says, this is detailed. How would I categorize the customer's WAP when, I think she meant SWOT, when I drop the product at a point of sale and the customers speak without giving feedback? It would mean investing in the market analysis. Okay, so you're dropping a product at the point of sale. Point of sale is like from the supermarkets, what is it called? Like when you go to withdraw money from ATM, that's your point of sale, like the POS, right? So you're saying, hold on a second. When I drop the product at a point of sale, maybe a supermarket, and the customers speak without giving feedback, it will mean investing in the market analysis. So at the end of the day, whenever you're selling any product, people are fond of making those mistakes. You should always put a contact point, because it is not an invisible person that sold the product. So you even selling out your products without putting a contact that people can reach you is a mistake on its own. It's a different ballgame if there's a contact and they refuse to reach you. If you sell a product to somebody and the person does not reach you, then you can as well assume that your product is good. Because at the end of the day, if the product is bad, let's say you sold the product at a very expensive amount, whereas it's supposed to be cheaper, they would find you wherever you are. They would try to locate you to tell you that you had extorted them. If you sell a product to somebody that is expired, I promise you, wherever you are, they will try to locate you as far as you're not fraud, if it's a real business. So if you sell a product to somebody at the point of sale, like a supermarket or wherever it is, and there's no feedback, they don't call you. So there's something they say in court. If you have something to say it now or remain silent forever. So if you sell the product to the person and you didn't get any feedback or a response, it is as well assumed that you've done a good job. It's just like when you ask questions in a class. Do you have any questions? You teach and you say, do you have questions? Students don't respond. You hear the teacher say, since there's no response, I assume that everybody understands. So if you sell a product at a point of sale and you don't get a feedback, as long as you have your contacts for those products, nobody reaches out to you, you assume that the product that you sold was good. And that's the reason why nobody reached out to you. I hope I've been able to respond to that question. But by all means, you must always include a contact detail, either a phone number, an email address, not necessarily your physical address. So it says it's an ongoing process. How can the chambers of commerce, I don't even need to read through all the questions for the chambers of commerce, but it says, how can the chambers of commerce support us to design some simple surveys that are standard and help us roll it out? Okay, this is another mistake people make. So when we hear about surveys, we think it's something really big. We just concluded a survey, myself and my staff, my project officer. It's simple. You have access to Google Form. I can teach you how to create Google Form. You have access to Google Form. Put out 5 questions. While we are on this Zoom call, you can share your link. Put out 5 questions. Name this. What is your business? You're the only one who knows what survey you want to do. So whatever survey you want to do, create a Google Form. If you have an email, create the Google Form. Create the questions. Simple, straightforward questions. Yes, no answers. 1 paragraph, 10 questions. Create the link. Send it out. You can't tell me you are not in any WhatsApp group that has young people or that has people. You send out the link to those WhatsApp groups. You appeal to them. Sorry, please, can you support my business? I'm trying to conduct a survey to get the perception, the notion, the impression of people. I would like you to take 2 to 3 minutes to fill out this survey form. It's very simple. You don't need to go and do anything big. You didn't spend money. You only spent data. I'm happy to support people with data. You only spent data. You didn't invest any money on it. All you need to do, I'm repeating, go on Google, create a Google form, input your questions on the Google form. Once you input your questions on the Google form, send it out to as many people as possible. When you come for a meeting like this, type it on the chat box. Please, can you help me fill out the survey? At least you will get 1 person to fill the survey. For the alumni groups that you're part of, you submit the link to those alumni groups. Please, could you help me fill out this survey? I'm trying to conduct a survey for my business and blah, blah, blah. You know the questions you want to fill. Surveys have helped me. I conduct surveys almost every other week in my office. And it helps me gather information. Sometimes getting people to fill in the survey questions can be very difficult, but you must not give up. And that's why you don't make your questions too much. You don't make it too lengthy. You can also print out some of the surveys for your business. I do that. When you conduct a business, you share business. When you provide a service or whatever it is you're doing in business, you've provided that service. It's a short 1-pager. You can print it out. the name of your business slogan, your name, your email, the questions. Are you satisfied with this, with my service? Yes or no? Yes, no. Average. Is my service important to you? Yes, no. Indifferent, average. Do you think you will patronize me again? Yes, no. Why? If no, why? Do you think you patronize me again? Yes. When you give somebody, I do that. When I render a service, I print out that small form. It doesn't cost anything. You can print out 20. When you're going to deliver the service, you attach that. Again, you might not see the difference and the impact of what you're doing now, but there's an impact. Later, when you're presenting your data, you're talking with a lot of confidence. You're talking with a lot of experience. You're talking with facts. So it costs nothing to create surveys. If we're in a WhatsApp group together, everybody, I can create a survey. Even here, I can do a poll, I can create a survey and I post it. Everybody will fill up the survey. So we Chamber of Commerce, we have database. Database means contacts. So if you're looking to do business in US, we have the contact. What kind of business do you want to do in America? Do you want patronage in America? Do you want us to sell your products and services to people in America? We have the network. I can just forward what you do to this, my network and my contacts, and they patronize you. That's how Chambers of Commerce help people. We are not a business, but we help businesses with network and contacts. So we now move on to the next question. Do you call this cost, operational cost, money used to do all these activities related to market analysis? Again, like I said, it doesn't cost you much. It's simple money that you can easily use in a month, like a sacrifice. It's your business, so you have to sacrifice. Even if you're going around, you don't need to go far. There might be a factory close to where you live. Just walk in there and ask questions. But if you look at all this kind of costs, I call them miscellaneous. It's not operational cost. Operational cost is the actual cost that you spend on the business. Survey is an added advantage. So miscellaneous is like external cost, unplanned, something that you did not plan for, but it came up. Oh, I did not plan to have a headache, but I have a headache, so I have to pay so amount of money to get my headache treated. That's miscellaneous cost. So this survey, I didn't plan to do a survey. I didn't plan to do market analysis, but I want to do it. That's an extra cost that you're incurring for your business. And like I said, your business has not started making so much money, so you don't need to incur big costs for it. The cost you're incurring for your business, it shouldn't be big, like huge, large cost. No. Just small monies. You buy data, create survey, print out the survey, go around, ask questions, meet people, ask questions. And above all, in everything, network. Continue talking to people about what you do. Continue marketing yourself. Continue marketing your product. Now, you're asking where the money would come from. Maybe the first profit that you make from your business, if you make a profit of $10, you can sacrifice $2 from your $10 to advance your business. You can sacrifice $2 to do this survey. You can sacrifice $2 to go around and print this form and ask questions. You can sacrifice $2 to buy data so that you can participate in this webinar that we are doing now, so that you can introduce yourself to me and other like minds. I shared my Wikipedia page on the chat box. You can go through Wikipedia and see what I've done worldwide and globally, not just in Africa, like I mentioned, in the US, many other countries. So you meet with these kinds of people, you interact with them, buy data, invest on data instead of buying human hair. The money you're supposed to use in buying human hair, buying expensive shoes, buy cheap shoes, keep it clean, buy cheap clothes, keep it clean, invest that money on data, invest that money in attending events and webinars to network. Now, moving forward, okay, I already answered that question. Okay, this one says her email address, we should share the recording. The organizers will decide that. I'll make the recording available to them. Sure, your business morals should reflect your company values. I agree. Corporate ethics, yes. How do you respond to and manage clients who stubbornly refuse to pay? Surprisingly, they do exist. Yes, they refuse to pay. They exist. Okay, so they said prevention is better than cure. So it's better not to even get yourself in that situation. Please don't sell things on credit. Don't. It's not advisable. It's not advisable. It's not. Because if you sell things on credit, there's no agreement. There's no way it is written. There's no verbal, there's no formal written agreement. It's just, oh, can you help me? Oh, I'm sick, I'm this, I'm that. It's business. I don't run a charity organization. I'm sorry. I would really want to help you, but I used money in paying for these things. And I'm still even owing the people I bought these things from. If I don't pay them by end of the month, I would have serious problems. Why not you wait until when you have money, you come back and buy? Don't sell on credit. Don't sell on credit. And if you've sold on credit and the people are refusing to pay, violence, arresting them with the police is not going to solve the issue. You should be persuasive. You should be persuasive. Persuasive meaning, do you know people who know this person? It's like somebody rendered a service to someone in my office. And at the end of the day, the person did not render the service completely. And the person took the person's money. Because the person knows me, he reached out to me and said, this person I rendered a service. He has not given me the service. He has not given me my money. I want my money back. What did I do? Because I work with this person, it was easy for me to tell him, this thing you're doing is unethical. It's either you render that service or you return their money. Because we work together, he refunded the person's money. So if you're going to sell things to people on credit, make sure you know people who know these people. Don't deal with people that have nothing to lose. You're selling something to somebody on credit, you don't know where they live, you don't know anybody who knows them, you don't know anybody who is senior to them who can talk to them, and you're selling things on credit. What if you don't see them again? What if they block you? If you know where they work, best, because nobody wants to be disgraced in their offices. You can easily walk into their offices and tell them, okay, please, can I have my money? If you don't have my money, I might be forced to escalate this matter. Escalate, meaning blowing it out of proportion, because I do business and I need this money to restock my goods and services. So if the person is refusing to pay, easiest way to get the money, go to their offices. Sometimes house does not work. Go to where they work. They don't want to lose their jobs. When you go to where they work, they will be embarrassed and they'll want to make the payment. You don't need to cause any sin. Just go to where they work and talk to them about your money. Try that strategy and I assure you, whoever is owing you would make that payment. But in the first place, don't even sell on credit. Then this person says, my business is a restaurant. My slogan is home away from home. Oh, fantastic. Hello, Wofai, you're on mute. Okay. I look that neat and presentable. That I like that look neat and presentable than very expensive and disorganized. Thank you. I agree with you. I really don't think I understood very well value proposition for the customer. Someone interrupted me. Well, I will just summarize this, but the presentation is there and the recording will be available. Value presentation is very simple. Why should I buy your product? Why is your product different from the products that every other person is selling? Why must I buy from you? Why should I buy from you? It's very simple. Why should I buy your product? How is your product different from what every other person is selling? What is the benefit of me buying your product? So you need to think about these things. Once you think about them, you now know how to tailor what you do around that product that you are selling. Now the next person says, I'm coming. Great and a defined presentation. Thank you very much. Categorizing customers, yet I will use supermarkets to sell my products. Okay, it depends on, you can use any platform to sell your products as long as you're making profits. Making profits is the most important thing. Let me tell you something, right? I'm the acting director general of the Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce. My goal is for my organization to be visible in America. I don't care how I do it. As long as I'm getting people in America to talk about my organization that are giving us business, that's all I care. Now, you are in business. Your goal is to make money. I don't care how anybody wants to fine-tune it. People say you value, great. Number one reason why Elon Musk is in business is he wants to make money. He was on Twitter. He changed Twitter to X. You have to pay to send videos and so on and so forth. You have to be verified. Elon is making money. Yes, he's impacting on free speech, but he's making money. You are a businessman. Your focus is to make money. Everything is secondary. Number one, how do I make money? Number two, how do I make money? Number three, how do I make money? Number four, how do I get new clients? How do I get clients? How do I get clients? How do I sell? Anything you can do to sell, please do it. As long as it is not ethical. It is not unethical. So whether you're trying to market yourself online, people say, oh, you're doing too much. You don't care. You have to do it because you have to sell. You have to make profits. That's the only way you can live. That's your only source of living. You have to survive. So anything you can do to sell your business, whether it means you marketing the business everywhere, people are getting angry, don't worry, don't scare, continue marketing your products. That is all you should care about. That is all you should be focused on. That is all you should be concerned with. Marketing your product to make money. Now, in the process of making money, try to give value. When you give value, when you're creating value, people are more interested to patronize you. So once you're creating value, people are interested to patronize you. Once people know that what they're getting from you, there's value addition. There's value. Oh, it's cheap and it's very nice. It's affordable. You're bound to make money. So I don't know if we have any further questions. If there's no further questions, I would just like to take one or two comments from different people there, and then we call it a day. Just basically telling us what you've learned. I think, first of all, do we have any more questions? Let me know if we have any more questions, please.
Ladies, any more questions? Or comments from the last three people?
So if there are any questions,
as we get this,
yes, if there are any questions,
I think there are no questions.
Madam Coordinator, yes, please.
I think there are no questions now, but we shall just take maybe 3 hands.
Okay.
Yeah, so as the 3 hands come up, again, reminding people, I like what you said, if you don't speak up, you will not eat. Yeah, if you don't open your mouth, you don't eat. Yeah, so there's Lucky. We shall take 2 more hands. So as Lucky speaks, let's have the next 2 hands come up, and then we can wrap this up. Lucky, just unmute and speak.
Hi, good morning from where I stand. I'm so glad that I was able to join in today morning. I'm very excited about the information that she has shared with us. Maybe my comment would be, as in this digital era that we're in, you can sell products from anywhere. Actually, as we speak right now, I just gotten products from Uganda from someone who is selling them from online. So we should increase our media presence. Social media is a very important tool nowadays that us who are in this digital era, let us capitalize on that so that we can be able to sell globally. I'm so glad that even when I'm so far away, I can be able to thrive with the group that I was one of the pioneers in Fort Portal cohort. I am so excited that this thing is going places. Good morning from this side. Bye.
Oh, bye. Thank you so much for that. We have 2 more ladies who can make a comment on this. Your takeaways, your learnings, please do share. Be free to open up and speak up, and don't just keep quiet and sit in the background.
So this is part of
Lucy,
what I'm saying.
and then Julian.
Sorry to interject. This is part of what I'm saying. You are in a business world. You're trying to sell your business as much as you can. Some people are introverts, but speak up. Whether what you're saying is making sense or it's not making sense, just speak up. You're also building your confidence. As a business person, you have to be able to market your products. You have to be able to market your products, even if you have people who do it for you. So when an opportunity is called for you to contribute, whether or not you're making sense, just contribute. You're also building on your confidence. I like what Kirungi said. Kirungi said, it's a social media era, it's a digital era. We cannot afford to be off social media. We need to be more visible. Thank you so much for the contribution, Kirungi. I hand over to the coordinator.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Lucy.
Hello.
Oh, I thought a chain was coming in. That's okay.
Yes.
Can I go? Sarah, are you coming in? I give you a chance.
Yes, I am.
Okay, fine, go.
Yes, thank you so much, Ma, for the presentation. It's really a wealth of knowledge, and I've learned a lot. And it has also helped me understand that what I have been doing is actually something worth it. About my product, this is Sarah at Cheng. Like you've seen, I add value to agriculture and specifically shea butter by blending it with specific essential oils to make it more effective on natural hair and skin care. When I was beginning this innovation, people loved my product because of how it would make their hair grow and be beautiful with glowing at the same time and easy to comb for babies. But the issue was the smell of the product. Shea butter naturally has a nutty smell and people don't like that smell. So, and people have been trying to use perfumes to make it have a scent, but perfumes instead make hair brittle and dry, hence breaking it. So I put a natural essential oil that actually makes it outstanding without spoiling clients' hair. The feedback I got from my clients, because I usually sell my products using feedback and recommendation, is what made me improve the product. Now, I had like 5 old clients who never used to like my product because of the smell, much as it used to work for them. When I upgraded my product, I sent the products out as gifts to those old clients that didn't like the old version of my product. And right now, as I speak, they are the very clients that are recommending my product to other new clients. This is something I think I am going to get serious with, even after you emphasizing it in this presentation. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, so let me just quickly react to what Lucy has said. Thank you, Lucy, for talking about shea butter. So recently I was in Ghana, sponsored by the US mission. I was in Ghana 2 weeks ago. Same thing, somebody was selling shea butter. I bought 3 cans of the shea butter for skin and hair, and it was smelling very nice. And I said to the person, shea butter smell is known to be a bit repulsive. How is yours different? I can assure you, he came with 50 bottles of everything was bought. Every single thing was bought. Why? Because the shea butter smell, it's raw natural shea butter, but I don't know what he added, whether scented perfumes, I don't know, but it was smelling very nice. Now, this is the difference. That person in Ghana is your competitor if he was in Uganda. But he's been able to add value to his shea butter by making it smell better, smell nicer, making a more appealing smell. Now, it's the same shea butter you're selling. I don't know about what you added previously that was people were reacting to, but when you got it right, you improved on the smell, the fragrance of the shea butter. People add fragrance. There's nothing wrong with adding fragrance. All the body creams, the soap that you use, check the content, what it is made with. There's always fragrance. There's nothing wrong with adding fragrance to enhance the smell, the perception of your product. Now that you've added a positive fragrance to it, there is more patronage. People are more willing. It is more user-friendly. People are more willing to buy that product. People are more willing to identify with that product. So that's where the value addition I was talking about comes into the picture. What is it you're selling? How can you add value to it? How can you make it better? How can you make it better? Is it the packaging? You're selling a particular thing, and then the label, you're using white and black. Can you make that label a little bit more colorful? Can you use maybe the flag of Uganda, made in Uganda or something? Just, I don't know, something making the label nicer than what you previously had. That way, it appeals to people. Can you make it more authentic? Can you make it more original? Can you spend a little bit more money on the packaging? Not just packaging something in the bottle, it's just there. The typing is bad. You can't even see the front. The colors are all very terrible. And then you're selling it to people. People look at it and they're like, this one is gonna bleach my skin. No. They made it in one local kitchen. I'm not going to buy. Whereas the product is very good, but the packaging is not very good. So thank you for sharing that experience, Lucy. Value proposition is what you did, and that is why you're getting more clients. And as long as you continue improving yourself, just try to ensure that you sell your products using the digital space as well. Create a Google profile. If you do not know how to create a Google profile, I'm happy to teach you how to create a Google profile. I can create a Google profile for you under 24 hours, and your profile will be live. People will be calling you from everywhere to patronize you on your product. Thank you. So let's take more comments or more reactions.
Yeah, this is Lucy. Actually, going back to snails, one of the questions that I'm getting frequently as I clean up to do export, especially to West Africa, because in East Africa, snails are not a delicacy here, though South, yes. And a few West African communities living here, they do snails. The question comes, how will you beat the competition? For instance, if I wanted to export to Nigeria, how would you beat the competition of the snail farmers in Nigeria? Remember, they will be providing fresh snails, they'll be having them, and most likely the snails in Nigeria, the size is much bigger than the snails in Uganda, which is very true. Again, I'm looking at different ways of packaging food. maybe I would package them like the way we do our grasshoppers, maybe roast them a bit, or maybe just pack them in a conservative kind of with what do you call it? Bottled snails, but preserved. Maybe, again, I haven't really reached that far to do my market analysis. How else, for instance, would West Africans love eating snails, again, from Africa, but different, or which are not fresh? I haven't gone to that extent. If you have any clues, you're very welcome.
Okay, you may need to chat with me immediately after this event, after this session, and I'll give you some clues off the chat. But very quickly, let me respond to you. Have you ever heard of a saying that a prophet is never really accepted in his hometown? So what do I mean by that? People from Nigeria appreciate people from Ghana, from Benin Republic, from Uganda, from Tanzania, from Tunisia. Why you are visitors, you're from another country. People from Uganda too will appreciate we Nigerians, we Ghanaians, we South Africans, we Rwandans, because we are not from Nigerians. More like, oh, you've seen your Ugandan people a lot. So you like, everybody likes something new. Now, you sell snails and you want to sell to Nigerians, Benin Republic, Ghana. This is international, like it's interregional. It's not from Nigeria. It's a foreign product. It's coming from Uganda. There is no way you will not get patronage. So if you go to our markets, personally, when I see things that are from Ghana, I want to patronize Ghana. I want to patronize made in Ghana more than what is made in Nigeria. It's one Africa after all. If I go to the market and I see made in Benin Republic, I want to buy Benin Republic. If I see made in Tanzania, I want to buy Tanzania. So there is no way you would say that you import things from Uganda to Nigeria. What you should be worried about is how do you even bring these things from Uganda to Nigeria, which is a totally different ballgame entirely. That's under exports. Intra-African trade, totally different. I've worked for Afrexim Bank as a moderator for some of their events, intra-African trade events, so I can give you advice on how that can be done. But in the meantime, please demystify that idea that Nigerian snails are bigger than yours, so you might not sell. You will sell for one condition, because you are from Uganda. That's an international country within Africa. That's intra-African trade. So you're selling whatever you're selling, your product is from Uganda. Please, that's from East Africa. You're from East Africa coming to sell to West Africa. There is no way West Africans will not patronize you. It's just like if I come to Uganda and I want to sell something from Nigeria, Ugandans will be curious. Oh, they brought this thing from Nigeria. Let's see what it's even about. Let's try it. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from. For the fact that it's an international product, you're bringing it from another market, definitely you will have people in our market who will be interested in what you do. But then again, one of the things that stands you out is that majority of the snails that are made from Nigeria are chemical processed. They use chemicals to grow. It's not a hidden fact. They use chemicals to grow a lot of the things that we eat in this part of the world. That's why everything is so big, so fat. All the yams, all the tomatoes, all the onions, everything is huge, everything is fat, everything is big. That can be one of your sales strategy. That can be one of your marketing points. The snails I'm selling, the things I'm doing, they are naturally grown. Less chemicals. There's not so much of chemicals, but the ones you're eating in your home country, they are grown with a lot of chemicals. You're not playing down on other people's business. It's called competition. Anything that makes you shine is what you adopt. So like I said, it would be nice if we chat further after the event on a personal level via WhatsApp. I have shared my Instagram link on the chat box. Reach out to me via Instagram, DM me, send me a direct message. I'm more than happy to provide you any assistance I can at any point in time I can. I have my Twitter shared on the chat box as well. Reach out to me via DM. Excuse me, and I'm happy to share my mobile numbers with you all, and we can continue the conversation even after this event. You can also get my details from the coordinator from AWE who has put together this program. I'm more than happy to interact with you ladies way after the program. Maybe we just take one or two more comments and we round off. Thank you.
Yes, Julian, that's the last hand that is there. Then we can wrap up. Julian, over to you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Madam Wofai. I don't know if I said that right, but I am so thrilled by the amount of energy you have, the level of confidence, and you look so young. So my questions that are running through my head before I even present the business issues is, where did you train from? There is something that is different about you, and I want to recognize and applaud you for that. Thank you so much for giving us all this courage. You're full of wisdom. So, what I didn't know is weakness. Like at times you find that you're saying you're trying to find your business weaknesses, but you've even brought points like not using technology enough is a weakness. And from my company, we have not been able to embrace social media and all that, but that's a huge weakness on my part and something I'm going to work on. Something like getting feedback. I've been using feedback to improve my products. For instance, a customer will tell me, you know what, Julian, I took hand wash and the color deteriorated, faded. Then I quickly find out, I quickly inform my chemist, and we're like, oh, the quality of the color. Now there we started to import our own color, then it's stable. So it has been random, not intentional, like if you just get a comment. But now I'll go out to seek deliberate feedback on every product that we make to make sure that we are top notch. Thank you for that. The other is on value proposition, the way we market. Oh my God, so brilliant about how you explained everything. I won't go through it, but that is something really I'm taking away with me, how to present or how to market my product by intentionally using a value proposition angle and also training my team to do that when they get to the market, not to preach about pricing and all that. Yes, we do a bit of value proposition, but I think we need to even train so that it's more intentional, more deliberate, that we are preaching the value that we are offering on our products. Yes. Otherwise, thank you so much. The issue on business ethics. At times when a client says that I want a hand wash, maybe ocean blue, and it's out of stock, you just arrive with a different, now it is to, oh my God, it's been rich. Just know that I really, really admire how you have presented this, and very enriching. Thank you so much.
Lucy, I must say thank you for the compliments. Everybody wants to be complimented, even Joe Biden, the president of America. When you tell him he's doing well, he thinks about his competition, Donald Trump, and he smiles. So everybody likes to be complimented. I'm really grateful. I'm honored. Thank you very much. Speaking about how far I have come, I'm happy to have interactions with you, Julian, via WhatsApp, via my social media. Please DM me, Instagram, Twitter, go through my LinkedIn, Wikipedia page. It would give you an idea about my journey, how I started and where I am right now, the things I've been able to do. Thank you. But two things I want to bring our attention to before I close. Number one is still speaking about weakness. Please, for any reason, do not ever magnify your weakness. What I mean by your weakness is don't ever go when you're marketing or telling people and you're saying, are you on social media? Oh, no, we are not active on social media. Are you on social media? We are building our pages. Oh, your products made my hands become dry and this. Don't talk down on your product. So if you read about the laws of power, you don't give an enemy a weapon to fight you. So if you put down your products, nobody's perfect. We are all trying to build. Every day we get better. When you bring yourself down, it's a better opportunity for people to bring you down. You must never, under no condition, must you talk down on your product. Under no condition must you magnify your weakness. So that product that you're selling, that product that you're offering, there are some good things about it. Instead of focusing on the bad, focus on the good. Even when people try to talk about the bad, play down on it. Oh, I've taken correction. Oh, I've noted this. I'll work on it. Don't magnify your weaknesses. Then the second thing that you spoke about, criticism. Some people are just out to negatively criticize you. When somebody tries to put your products down, when you know you're trying to do a good job, it's like I apply it to my work. Like I'm doing everything possible, and then in a public place, you want to embarrass me. You want to disgrace me. You want to tell me the event I'm organizing is not at par. The event is not making a lot of money. Don't get upset. You don't start fighting and quarreling. Oh, really? But you need to understand that I'm working with a very minimal staff strength. In this organization, we're just 10 people. Whereas those organizations you're saying that are making all the billions and everything, they have more than 50 staff. So we should be commended for what we do. Do you see how I have intelligently put you in your place? You continue saying things like always make analysis. That's why I talked about data. Oh, this thing you said I didn't do well. I've seen what other companies are doing. I can assure you that theirs is not even as good as what I'm doing. And if I had the resources that they had, I would even do better than them. So I think for what I'm doing, I should be commended. Do you see how I'm responding to you without putting myself down? Oh, the products that you're selling are not so good. They are not as big as the ones that are imported from South Africa. They are not as good as the ones that are imported from the US. But you need to understand that in Africa, we are coming, we're up and coming, we're MSMEs, we are SMEs, we're small businesses. We don't get funding from the government. We don't get funding from anywhere. We are self-funded. And at the end of the day, even with our self-funding, look at the quality of what we're producing. So imagine if I keep getting revenue from people like you, people like your sisters, your brothers. That's why you should recommend me to more customers. Imagine what I'll be able to do with your recommendation. Do you see how you're turning the negative criticism about your business around? So somebody's telling you, oh, that thing you're doing is not good. That is why I need you to patronize me. Because if you continue patronizing me and you bring more people to patronize me, I will even do better. So at every point in time, you should never put yourself down. You should never magnify your weakness. Always magnify your strengths while you work on your weakness. And then finally, there must be value that you're proposing to people. Okay, so will that be the last and final question? Are we safe to close for the day? Like I mentioned, I shared all my social media handles, and I will be happy to interact with everyone via social media. I will give you my mobile numbers when you reach out directly to me on the social media platforms. I hand over at this juncture to the coordinator. Thank you.
Ooh la la. That was I don't know. I will get the words, and when I get the words, I will express myself. But I cannot thank you so much or more, Wofai.
Yes.
Wofai. Perfect. For this amazing, insightful conversation. What I took away really was that we need to have a deep dive into our businesses. We need to be able to do self-analysis. We need to be able to make data-driven decisions for our businesses. There were so many nuggets, but for me, that has resounded so well. But then finally, what you just said when you were commenting on Julian's remarks, talking about do not magnify your weaknesses. I think even as women, we are fond of doing that. Of, someone says something, then you reaffirm what they've just said and you put yourself down. Thanks for letting us, at least for giving us insights into how to comment on that without brushing what they've said aside and seeming defensive, but we take it and then we build on the best that we can offer. So thank you so much. We shall definitely reach out. Thank you. We shall be expecting that presentation. We shall share it with the participants. It was an amazing session. We hope that you shall continue being part of the Academy for Uganda or East Africa, and we look forward to speaking with you again. Thank you and have an amazing, amazing afternoon.
Thank you very much, Madam Coordinator. Thank you once again to AWE, Academy for Women Entrepreneurs Uganda. Thank you to the U.S. Mission Uganda. Thank you to Pooja Chandra of the ACE Health Foundation in Washington, D.C. And to every single one of you who has attended this session. I'm more than grateful. I look forward to furthering this conversation with you. Like I said, I'm always very reachable. I like to interact. So let's connect on social media and then we take the conversation forward from there. My name is Wofai Samuel. I look forward to joining you again next time. Until then, goodbye, take care of yourselves, and God bless you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.